Good Thursday night, world. And welcome to another episode of Band Dog Talk with the Dog God. Big salute to Young Ready, man, with that pole position. Young Duro with that close second, 7 minutes behind. Nell Mack with that third, 1, 2, and 3. Rooted in that. Big salute to you, Show Nuff. Big salute to you, Korea. Caveman, much love and respect, man. Big salute to you, Caveman. Functional Focus Kennels, man. Big salute. Cooper. What's good with your family? Salute. And again, like I said, welcome to another episode of Band Dog Talk with the Dog God. Before we cook up, before I get into my week, you know what we always do. You know, those of us who already know is already prepared. For those who don't know, man, get those herbal sensations rolled up. Bah. You know, use your paper planes, your Swisser sweets, backwoods, bongs. You dabbing, you edible, you eating it, edibles. You putting the lotion on, you know what I mean? You're bathing in the shit, man. Get that shit ready to go, man. Get that shit prepared. You know what I mean? The herbal sensations ready to go. If you like Duro, you like that cold brewski, your Coors Light, your Budweiser, your Heineken, you know what I mean? Corona, your IP beer, whatever you drinking with the hops, malt liquor, Schlitz malt liquor, that Cobra. Man, get that shit ready, man. Crack that shit open, man. Crack it open right now. Taking them shots, man. Shots of Hennessy, Patron, Jose Cuervo, whatever. I mean, shit, whatever you got your, your mouth watering for. Man, get that shot ready to go, man. And if you like them mixed drinks like the Culture, man, get that vodka lemonade out, man. Like I got, man. I got that vodka lemonade. Hey, cheers to all y'all, man. My brothers, man. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for showing up to class. Cheers. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. As I take a deep breath. Oh man, it's never a dull moment in my life, especially taking care of all these dogs and doing all the other things that I do every day, which is a lot. Um, as y'all know, we got these Formula One bulldogs. God has blessed me with Red Tiger reincarnated and gave me 9 beautiful, beautiful top tier puppies, man. I mean, obviously, this ain't my first rodeo dealing with dogs, and I analyze my dogs from birth, and I know things to look for. As far as my lab notes, I always look back on when the parents were puppies, how they acted, and how they matured, and the drives, and all the stuff. I got all that stuff in my lab notes. So to see these young pups develop, growing to their little dog mentality, see them compete. And I look back at my lab notes from their parents and I see how advanced they are. I still remember when I got Brutus and Red Tiger, and they were, a pair, right? Littermate brothers, and I got them together. And I remember how close they were based off of their new environment. Now, when puppies get separated from their current home, they go to a new home, they tend to bond with each other. And, they're like sidekicks, you don't see no fighting. They cuddled up together and all that shit. You know what I mean? And I look at how they are, and then I look at these Formula Ones that the coach produced. And I see how competitive they are. and I see how I got to go in and, you know, break tussles and hustles up and, squabbles up. I had to break shit up in there because, they highly competitive. Now at night, you know what time it is at night. Everybody cuddle up. I got a nice little heat lamp out there. They got their little luxury suite. They huddle up and do what puppies do. They sleep. But then, when they're activated, oh man, I got my wife yelling at me. She's like, Daddy, the puppies, they doing that. Daddy, they over there fighting. They screaming over there, do something. Gotta go in there and break the shit up. And so when I look at that and I see they tenacity, they drive, I'm like a proud dad. You know what I mean? Just like I drew them up in my lab. Highly competitive, super competitive, early bird. And, that's what I knew I was going to get out of that recipe. I knew I was going to get some extreme drive. I need to have an on-off switch, though. So I'm praying whoever gets them, they will get an on-off switch. And if you're a good dog man or a dog woman, if you develop how I always leave instructions with my consumers. Build a bond with my dogs first. Don't turn them on. They already have it in them genetically. I haven't done nothing to these puppies and they competing. They're they're causing, pain to each other. No blood is being, no blood, nothing of that sort. You know what I mean? But they definitely putting them chompers down on each other. They putting them chompers down, and I'm hearing, all that little. I'm hearing all that shit, and anybody can get it. So to see the drive, I put a towel in there in a little spot where I have them laying. I told my wife don't do it. We got a mat that we put in there for them where they lay down. But she put a towel in there while she's washing everything. And, they over there, man, tearing that towel the fuck up. On their own. This dog shit. You know what I mean? This dog stuff. Not only are they showing me the drive, but the phenotypes on them, the variances that I love because of all the DNA that I incorporated in their genetic profile. To see those phenotypes. I had one that he was not small, but he was more compact. And he sold, and the gentleman knows who he's going to. But I remember when he was younger and he was smaller as far as like lengthwise. And genetically, I knew the potential of what he could be, but of course, I'm not knowing. I got to watch him develop and grow. And I told him, I was like, look, man, you might be smaller than your brothers, but I know the genetics that's in you. I had your uncle. Okay. I had your daddy. I know who your grandfather is on your daddy's side. I know who your grandmother is on your daddy's side. I know who your great daddy is on your father's side, your great grandmother I know all that. I know the same thing on your mother's side. I know who her daddy is. I've never seen her mother. Rest in peace, Tigress's mama. But I knew genetically, based off my notes, that even though he might be compact or he was compact, I knew he would probably get that size that Red Tiger and his brother had. And also, Tigress's father, right? And Red Tiger's grandfather, grandmother, etc. So long story short, man, I mean, this boy right here, bro. And shout out to my young brother who's getting them. I ain't gotta say your name, family. You know what I mean? I'll let you do what you do. I'll let you represent for you. You know what I mean? When you get your dog and you flex. But this damn dog right here is so thick and bully, bone, chest, neck, head, jaws. He got the cheek. I like the cheek, and that's shout out to Tigress. Tigress did that shit. Them cheeks, you know what I mean? Them big ass cheeks and shit. The rears thick. That boy's like a brick, compact, bully ass brick. And he with all, you know what I mean? They all of them with all the smoke, because that's what I put in them. That's high performance. That's what I put in all my dogs. That drive, I put that drive in all my shit. But to see this dog, and he was, he wasn't looking as big as his brothers. But I said, man, as long as you get that thickness that is in your DNA, man, be you. I like variance. And man, did he turn out. And I know my fellow customer or my fellow consumer or my fellow brother, dog man, etc. He getting more than what he expected. I'll put it that way. He gonna get more than what he expected. You know what I mean? He gonna get something that's gonna blow his mind, blow everybody else's mind that see him. And he the same color as my boy Pink Panther. Shout out to Tigress. That pink, you know what I mean? The boy Pink and shit. You know what I mean? Like literally pink. They call that lilac, but like pink. Because that's Tigress. Tigress put them rainbows on her dogs. But the coach don't care about color. But he got a pink one, so that's automatic gonna have everybody like, oh my God, that dog is pink. But the size and the thickness on that damn dog, that damn puppy, and then he with all the shit. I put that upgraded engine in him with that hybrid vigor. That means I corrected his father's mistakes, his father's genetic mistakes. Cause I threw that outcross in there. I threw Tigress in there. So I know he's gonna breathe better than his daddy, for sure. I already know that. So to see that, y'all, to watch my dogs develop, my productions, my Formula One Bulldogs develop, for God to bless me with Red Tiger's DNA, the last straw. The last straw. I only had 3 straws. Y'all know the story. Red Tiger's brother Brutus, he died. He died doing his conditioning workout. Not during. And I only do them for 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, because I knew that they had breathing problems. I figured that out because I like conditioning dogs. I figured out they're only good for about 15 minutes because they're like, they got a lot of bursts, but they're not built genetically for the endurance. But in their mind, they want to go. They didn't have no on-off switch. So I knew that coming in because I was experimenting with them, because that's what I do. I condition dogs. So I knew, okay, 10 minutes of work, that's all you got. 10 minutes of work with young Brutus. Brought him up to his shaded 10 by 10 kennel, went down, took Red Tiger down, did his 10 minutes, 15 minutes, brought him up. Brutus didn't cool off. Brutus over there foaming at the mouth. Did everything I could do to save him. Was crying, all the shit, man. I mean, that's emotional. That's my first heat stroke situation. Battled 5 hours to try to, cool him off, everything, man. Had a seizure, bit my hand while I had a seizure, bit my, got bit and, died. 5 hours. 5 hours of trying to save that dog's life. So when that happened, I went ahead and spent the $1,300. Took Red Tiger in there. Hey, what can we do to improve the breathing? Oh, well, we can do this. Nares is okay. He can breathe through the Nares, but we see a soft palate. Told y'all this story, but we're gonna recollect. We're gonna reminisce. $1,300. Okay, cool. Whatever. Fuck it. I gotta save him. Okay, I'm distraught. I lost my boy Brutus. I'm hurt. And then, bro, I was hurt. You know, your dog dying in your arms, blood coming out his nose. This is real life. Blood coming out his nose. Has a seizure. You're looking in the dog's eyes. It's like you're just staring in the abyss. You look at it like he ain't even looking at you, but his eyes open. You over there crying and shit. Real life. Me, I'm crying. And your dog dies in your arms. I'm distraught. So whatever it costs, fuck it. Get it done. Get him done. Get the surgery. It's all good. Okay. Call my fertility clinic, fertility clinic up. Hey, I need to get my man pulled ASAP. ASAP. If I think about right at that time, he was like a year and a half. ASAP. Get him pulled. Make the appointment. Get him pulled. I get 3 straws. Okay. Boom. Then, of course, Red Tiger kills himself. Okay. Came out and this is a while. It didn't happen right away. It's, probably a year and a half afterwards, he killed himself. Which is, his on-off switch, his drive. I came out next morning, that nigga was stiff. I already knew what he did. You know what I'm saying? I knew what he did. You know what I mean? He highly driven dog. Highly driven dog. At night, I'm sure he was pacing and wanting to get at whatever he wanted to get at. He wasn't barking. He wasn't the barking type, but I know what he do. So when I found him stiff out there, I was like, I already knew what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? He saw something out there he wanted to get at. And so if he can't get at it, he's going to keep pacing. He didn't have no off switch. So then he passed. So I only had 3 straws, y'all. 3. Y'all know the story. I beat him the first time to Tigress. Didn't take. 1 straw gone. Second time, I say, you know what? I need to make an extreme breeding. Let me breed him to my band dog recipe. I'm breeding him to Silver Bullet. I'm not going to Bulldog. I'm going to Silver Bullet, okay? Because Tigress, I didn't know if Tigress was going to produce what I needed her to produce. So I went to Silver Bullet. Got 1 puppy. 1 puppy I got. His name is Red Tiger Jr. Wait till you see Red Tiger Jr. He's better than his daddy. You know what I mean? Just like I cooked him up in my lab. But let me digress off of that. Only got 1 puppy. Everybody was begging me for those puppies. Oh, coach. Only got 1. Of course, he was going to stay with me. And y'all seen Red Tiger Jr., right? So then I got 1 more straw left. Tigers came in the heat. I'm like, you know what? I gotta do this again because that was the original play. That was the original format. Was Red Tiger to Tigress. Didn't take the first time. I gotta roll the dice with my last straw. I rolled the dice. At this point, I already had my own progesterone machines, all the shit. I didn't trust the vet because the vet, one thing about my fertility clinic, they about their money. I mean, I understand it. I get it. They want you to come in multiple times. You're doing about 3-4 different progesterones. That's, over there at my place, they charge us like $100. So I'm like, $300? No, y'all ain't gonna finesse me. I spent the $3,000, got my own progesterone machine. So I knew my bitch was ready. I knew she was Tevin. She was ready. And then Winter took her over there to the clinic, put that last straw in her. God blessed me with 12 of them. 12 puppies. The last 2, okay, the last 2 that came out, didn't make it. Tigress is not she's not, she's a decent sized bitch, but she ain't a big bitch. 12 puppies, that's too much for her. You know what I mean? That's too much for her. She had a crowded litter. So I got it, but she alived me 10 of them. 1 of them didn't make it after 3 days, which is fine. It is what it is. I'm used to this shit. But I got 9, man, a 9-piece. 3, 6, 9, 12. You know how I feel about them 3s. And every single one of these damn puppies is top tier. Any dog man, especially if you into bulldogs, any dog man that get this DNA would be the best DNA they ever had in their life when it came to bulldogs. No cap. This is like, this litter is what I envisioned when I decided to get into bulldogs. And I was fascinated by the American Bulldog bully type, the look of the dog. I like NFL defensive back type dogs, from the safeties to the cornerbacks, defensive ends, linebackers, outside linebackers, middle line. I mean, I like them type built type dogs, but NFL performance, okay? Fast, strong, agile, all that shit. But I like that look. So when I got a red tiger and a Brutus, I was in love with the look. I was in love with the look. I was in love with the drive. But I hated the overall performance because they couldn't do what I love to do. I love to condition, y'all. I love conditioning dogs. That's a piece of my passion. The other piece is making high performance dogs. But conditioning, I love it. That's what I love. That's why I built a whole facility for that, conditioning dogs. So anyway, I get these dogs looking, they have the phenotype that I like. Ooh, I love them. I love that look. They muscled up. Big heads. Nice strong rears. Everything I like aesthetically. But oh man, the motors ain't there. The motors are not there. The motors are not complete at all. Then I go through my mathematical equation of genetics and I understand the crosses and how I've crossed this and I crossed that and I mixed this and I mixed that and I've got these exceptional dogs. So I knew off the top that, you know what, I got to take Red Tiger to, Tigress, because that's the only one I had. I really was going to take his ass to Big Bertha, but then I would have made a mistake. That would have been another failure. So God don't make no mistakes. We do, though. You see what I'm saying? God don't make no mistakes, but we do. And that would have been a mistake on my dog man credentials. Taking a exceptional looking dog, bully type that I like with another exceptional looking dog, bully type that I like, but both of them can't breathe. But I got to mix those genetics together. I would have did it. I really would have did it. Just being honest with y'all. And then I would have failed. So me taking Red Tiger to Tigress and God allowing that to connect, my last straw, me to see these dogs, the different variations of the genetic pool of characteristics from Red Tiger and Tigress. And I know how Red Tiger was bred. I know how the formula was created. I know from the start of Red Tiger, top and bottom. I know from the start to how they created it. And then I understand a little bit about Tigress. The only thing I can measure mathematically and genetically for Tigress is the fact that I own her and then I bred her already 2 times. And I've seen her dogs that she produced. I've seen her. So I'm like, okay, mathematically, genetically, I should get this in family. My dog men and my dog women. Whoever gets these, thank me later. Just thank me later. Like, coach, man, shit, you wasn't capping. I don't cap when it comes to my dogs first and foremost, but hey, coach, we wasn't capping, man. Bro, these damn fucking dogs these damn bulldogs, man, your own recipe bulldog, Formula One bulldogs is really on that. They on that. Yeah, they on that. They look like that. Yeah, I know they look like that. They function like that. Yeah, I know they function like that. Just like I drew them up in my lap. So, hey, I got to cheers to myself on that. But that's all I got to say about that, y'all. You know what I mean? I got to cheers to myself on that. You know what I mean? Whoever can afford these, make sure your money right. Come talk to me, man. You know what I mean? Thank me later when you got something that, got everybody going ooh and ah and and they real bulldogs, real ones. What I mean by real ones, though, this is what I mean by real ones. When you got a dog that looks the part, acts the part, not only acts the part, but it can accept how he dishes it or she dishes it out. She can accept that. Like, she can accept the same punishment that they can give. Not only that, they can breathe. They can breathe. I love a dog that can breathe, man. Because I've had dogs that can't breathe. I don't like that shit. I hate that shit. I need a dog that can breathe. Well, you can create a bulldog that can breathe and then take a licking and keep on ticking. And I see how they be, I see them competing as puppies. You know what I mean? They don't understand their thresholds yet. That's why they over there. They don't understand it, but they still doing it. Like I said, this ain't my first rodeo with puppies and dogs. I got all that shit in my notes. I understand how they develop. I understand how they get their wave. I see it. It's like a kickboxer. You know how them kickboxers, they have them hard ass shins. They got them calluses on their shin. You know how we used to ride our bikes when we was younger. We used to ride our bikes, and we had them hard ass fucking pedals. Remember them hard ass metal pedals, right? And we had them free spin bikes. Remember them free spin bikes we used to ride, and you used to slip off the pedal, and that motherfucker bang back into your shin, and oh man, oh that shit used to hurt so bad, oh that shit used to hurt so bad. But those kickboxers, man, to prevent that feeling of that shin pain, they keep kicking, they get them calluses, they keep kicking them bamboo, whatever they kicking, they kick that shit, that shit hurt, it hurt. Eventually, them shins get calloused. All them nerves get calloused. Same thing with the dogs. Same thing with the dogs. And like I said, I never understood that until I had a whole bunch of dogs, and I used to see what they used to do to themselves, or how they used to act versus how they act now. Like a Shaka and certain other dogs that I know that in my yard that they feel no pain, like nothing hurts them, nothing. And you're like, how do you not hurt? Well, some dogs have built that tolerance. They build that over time. Some dogs understand that it's just a part of it. They get it mentally. Okay. So when I see the potential in these young puppies and I understand the genetic formula and I see the different phenotypical variations, but I see everything that's in them in those variations. And I know that, you know what, man, that coach really did that. And man, I really did that, man. God is good. I'm very grateful for that. So shout out to these puppies, man. Before we get into this, I want to say something else before we get started on the topic. You know what I mean? So bear with me, y'all. A lot of individuals who are into dogs, who I would say are supporters of what I do, and let's say fans, they've been on my horn for a very long time about certain dogs that I have on my yard that I could possibly cook up. And y'all know the whole 2024, I didn't do any breedings, and it was for a whole purpose. It was for a reason, because I'm not giving away my shit. Told y'all that. This red tiger breeding was something that everybody's been wanting since I've been talking about breeding red tiger. Ever since I didn't make the first one go down. And that was like about 3.5 years ago. So now I cooked up red tiger. And these dogs are amazing. Now the fanfare is, the fans are going crazy. Now I actually have puppies that I actually can bless the fans with. The ones who've been waiting for so long for a fucking red tiger. All the ones who used to be on Buff Dog's dick. Who wished upon a star that they can get one like I used to. Like I used to wish upon a star back in 05. That was me in 2005, I was wishing. But there was others, I'm sure, way before me in 2005 that was wishing when Buff Dogs was in their heyday. Okay? Heyday. Anybody who was in the American Bulldogs, anybody was on that band dog kick in the early night and the mid '90s, early 2000s. Okay? They knew about Buff Dogs. I didn't find out about them until 2005, but they knew about them before me. All those when I introduced Red Tiger and his brother, and they was all swinging on Red Tiger and his brother's balls. Now we got Red Tiger. We got 2025 Red Tigers, but they better. They Formula Ones. They're not buff dogs no more. They Formula Ones. God willing, I 50% to 75% fix the problems. I'm gonna give. We'll give it 50%, just to be on the low end. I know I fixed them better than that. Okay, because I know hybrid vigor. I know tigers, but we're gonna say 50% fixed it. Like that means the shit I was dealing with, you got an edge. We got a coin flip. You're gonna be better than what I had. I'm sure of that. I'm sure of that. Okay. But now it's like I got the dogs, y'all. I got these dogs that people been waiting for, fiending for, like Jodeci. I got the fanfare, y'all. The fanfare. I've been had the fanfare. I always had the fans, man. Okay, always had the fans. Coach, go ahead, coach. Yeah, coach, coach, yeah, them dogs, all the shit. I've been had that. But you know what I've noticed that I'm lacking as a dog man, as a businessman? I'm lacking the fans and the supporters that got their money right. I'm lacking that. I don't understand. I personally don't understand, y'all. And I'm going on a rant right now, but I mean, it's my show. I can do that right now. It's my show. I can do that. Y'all, dog men and dog women, I don't understand. When I fucking put my blood, sweat, and tears, my money, I sacrificed everything. Okay? Like I said on my brother Big Josh show, CC Concepts, Catch Dog Concepts. I'm the Elon Musk of this shit, man, when it comes to high performance working dogs, man. My vision there, my gift from God is unique. I had a vision, like I told y'all, since I was 8 years old, what I wanted to do. I wanted to create my own dogs. And I spent the money, y'all. Not no fantasy shit. Not on no, Walt Disney, when you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Not on no Walt Disney. I wasn't on no Walt Disney wishing, niggas. I spent my chin. I spent my bread. I spent it. I moved up here to Hillbilly Hill, all these white folks. Nothing against my white brothers. I love y'all. I love all my brothers, but nothing against my white brothers. But listen to what I'm saying. So I can have land in the country so I can do my dogs. Okay? I'm a city boy. I'm a city boy. I moved to the country so I can do dogs. So I put a lot into this shit, y'all. And when I get DNA like buff dog shit, and then God happened to bless me with some freaks like Red Tiger and Brutus, and everybody is on they balls, right? Because they are that. And people who know buff dogs from back in the day before even I did, they hit me up in my DMs. You got that? How'd you get that? How'd you get that? I remember this. I remember my dog. All the shit. Okay, I'm getting all that. I'm getting it all. I'm the only one with the 2018 version of that Rocky Mountain Bulldoggy. Nobody else got it. Nobody. I know for a fact ain't nobody got it. I know I'm the only one that got it because just by the grace of God, I got it. Just by the grace of God, I had the money. Just by the grace of God, I am who I am as a dog man. I got respect from the OG, Joe. He didn't want to sell me his DNA. I said that on Big Josh show. He didn't want to sell me his foundation DNA. He didn't want to sell me Red Bull's straws. He wanted to keep that to himself. That was his pride and joy. He made that. That was his pride and joy. He didn't want to sell that. But because of me having my money right, key word is money right. And then me having a vision and me talking how I'm talking, like how the passion of the Christ when it comes to these dogs, him listening to my conversation with his wife, me telling him, hey man, I need this. This is what I'm doing. Man, he coughed that shit up. He gave it up. He's like, man, you know what? Hey, I'm not gonna do nothing here, man. I'll keep my 3. Here you go. I didn't want to give it to you, but here you go. I got it. So I got the whole recipe, y'all. So fast forward to what I'm saying right now, my rant. I cap y'all not. When I posted them puppies up this past week, I told Doro this. I got at least 50 inquiries. 50! No cap, y'all. How much for the puppies? Oh, I want a male. Oh, I want this. Coach. Oh, 50. Now, some of them were people who probably was waiting on the sidelines for years. Some of them was people that's, saw the, post I put up and saw the puppies like, ooh, I like those dogs. Those dogs look, I love that. Oh, all that shit, right? Why out of 50? Why? This is my rant, y'all. Why out of 50, none of them got their motherfucking money right? Why? Where are the dog men like me? Where are the real dog men and dog women who, when they see something like I saw it in 2005, I said, I'm going to get me one of those. I'm going to get one of them dogs from Buff Dogs. When I saw AK's daddy, I saw AK's mama, I said, I'm going to get me a damn fucking puppy off of them too. You know what I did as a dog man that was serious? I started stacking my motherfucking money up. I started stacking my bread up. I didn't reach out to Buff Dogs or reach out to Simon and all the other people I bought dogs from prematurely with no fucking money. No, I didn't do that. Why? I want them to take me serious when I call them up. But you know what my fans do? My people who've been supporting me for all these years, they go and think it's okay to pull my dick out and play with it without no lube. They want to play with my dick with no lube. They don't want to let me get a nut off. They won't, you know what I mean? Coach can't get a nut. They want to pull my dick out and chase me. Hey, yeah, coach. Oh, coach, I mean, well, coach, them dog. What, man? What? And because I'm so humble and I don't want to treat my consumers like how most dog men and dog women who know that y'all ain't really about that shit. Y'all full of shit. I talk to all y'all. I treat y'all with all respect, even though I know y'all full of shit. Y'all money ain't right. I still give you the time of day because I know how I would feel. But I got to tell myself at the end of the day, they not like you, coach. That's why they ain't got dogs like you. That's why they never will have dogs like you. That's why they will never have dogs like you. Because when you see a damn dog that you fucking want, you say, I'm going to get that. If the man tells you, man, or if you following the man, they tell you, hey, man, this breeding going to go down in 6 months. This breeding going to go down in a year. I'm going to make sure I'm ready. When that breeding goes down, that's what I'm going to do. But you know what? My supporters, my fans, they just be talking and shit. They be barking. You look at that dog, where's your teeth at? Why are you barking? Okay? They're not Shaka. Barking with no teeth will still fucking crush your damn arm. He'll gum your ass and crush your arm. That's Shaka. He's rare. He's a rare dog. Most dogs no teeth ain't doing shit. That's the dog man of today. Right? They talking about what they want to do. They talking about what they want to get. They say they're going to be ready. When it's time, they calling you up. They're acting like they wanted to spend and they ain't got not one fucking cent. This is the reason why a lot of you dog men who think you really dog men has got fucked up programs. You settle for the jug, you settle for the deals, right? And I'm gonna close out with this, okay? And we're gonna get onto the topic at hand tonight. But you know what? It's my show. I can vent. I can rant. That's the reason why y'all motherfucking programs is never gonna be shit. When you want top tier genetics, man, just think about horse racing. where they're making millions off of races. They'll go all over the world to get these damn horses, the genetics, and they'll pay millions. They pay millions for that shit because for the genetic, they're paying for the genetics. They pay millions for the shit for their program. Same thing with the dogs. We're not paying millions, man. You know, a few thousand. We're not paying millions like they do. We're a few thousands if you're serious about your program. I knew this coming in the game. I wanted the dog men that I called to take me serious when I called them. I made sure I let them know I'm not window shopping you and I'm not pulling your dick. And if I'm going to pull it, you're going to bust. And you're going to bust hard. If I'm going to pull it. Okay, no homo. But I wanted them to know, like, look, I'm serious. I know you probably deal with a lot of people capping and wolfing and all that shit. I'm not the one. I know what I want. I'm willing to spend what you willing, I'm willing to spend it. If it's what I want, I'm willing to spend. And yes, I've got bamboozled. I've told y'all that before. I've got bamboozled. I paid way more than what dogs was worth. You learn that in the dog game. But, I've got dogs that I paid a lot of money for that superseded that money. Okay? So, in closing of this rant, if you, as my supporters and fans, really want these top tier level dogs, I told y'all what I'm willing to do, man. I got young bitches still. I got young bitches in the yard. I ain't got to rush shit. I got males, even AK, he'll be 5 this year. I'm like I told y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and store. He gonna get his shit beef jerkied up, and we're gonna store straws. I ain't gotta breed him. I'd have straw his ass up. 50 straws. If my supporters don't support me financially like I supported other dog men with exceptional programs that I thought was exceptional enough for me to buy their DNA for my program, if my supporters don't do that for me, y'all not getting these damn dogs, man. A lot of y'all want these next level dogs, man. A lot of y'all want to see that double XL pit bull. A lot of y'all want to see them bull herders, AK with the Kangal, AK with the Malinois. A lot of y'all want to see the AK74 band dogs. A lot of y'all want to see a lot of shit. I know it. I get it all the time. Y'all. But if y'all want this type shit that I spent my fucking hard-earned money on, that I work every day, no fucking days off, blood, sweat, and dog shit for, my vision and my Elon Musk skills to produce these type dogs that I'm talking about that you see on my fucking page, y'all gonna have to pay me for that. Y'all not exempt. Y'all not gonna treat me like I ain't who I am when it comes to this dog man shit. Y'all not gonna do that to me. You're not gonna get my dogs. Period. And I have to let y'all know that. And if it applies to you, you know who I'm talking to. If it don't apply to y'all, then you already know what it is. Come on, man. We're not sensitive. We're not sensitive men over here, or women, if you're a woman over here. But we're not sensitive. We know it's real talk. We're talking real dog man talk. And I want to talk that shit with y'all. Okay? I said on Big Josh show, I'm top 3 in the world when it comes to these damn performance dogs. Making performance dogs, I'm top 3 in the world. Making dogs, not piggybacking off of other people's shit and riding their coattails. No, making my own shit. Making it. Having the vision, understanding genetics, understanding genetic characteristics, understanding how to pick out dogs, understanding how to keep whole litters, understanding all the shit, trial and error, having a gift to do it, and then showing it in my productions, showing it. So when you're on that level, and then you're also being fair to you guys as my supporters and my fans, my fellow dogmen who want some top tier shit, next level shit, I'm fair, man. I haven't raped y'all yet, man. I haven't raped y'all yet. Key word is yet. Yet. Okay. Because when I got them 50 straws And when Formula One become a franchise in the future, when Formula One canines become a franchise, and I'm producing direct AK dogs, even when AK is dead, or whoever else is my top tier dogs, Black Hawk dogs, and I'm selling direct AK daughters 20 years from now, the same formula, but AK in the front, legendary AK, DNA in the front, whoever else is legendary in my, I mean, I'm going to get top tier. Come on, man. And it's only going to my franchisers. They the only ones that get them directs because nobody else can produce them directs but their culture. So, of course, I'm going to put them top tier. I'm going to put them prices on those when I got that. But until then, right now, y'all getting blessed. Y'all get entry-level prices. But these ain't the shorty lows, though, y'all. You see what I'm saying? These ain't the shorty lows. This is fair pricing for my fellow dog men and dog women, not shorty lows. But I digress. I had to get that off my chest. Cheers to my brothers, man. Cheers to my brothers. Cheers. So yeah, man, that was that. You know what I mean? I had to get that off my chest. I was just so frustrated. I was telling Duro, man, it's like, oh my God. I'm like, bro, how is it? Why is it like people been fiending? They've been begging me for these fucking dogs, and I get all these people hitting me up with no money. Shit pisses me off. It's like, come on, man. Dogmen, like dogmen. My minority brothers. Brothers that look like me, darker than me, maybe lighter than me, same complexion than me. You might wonder why when you hit up other dogmen that are not your color, my white brothers, for example, who got programs and they're pretty legit programs, you hit them up and they ignore you. You wonder why. I'm going to tell you why. Because about 98% of my consumers are of my ethnicity. And about 97.8% of you niggas ain't got no fucking money. I said it. So when you hit these niggas up or these people up that got real programs and they see your profile picture, they see whatever shit you got, you're heading, and they ignore you and you wonder why. Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because you niggas is full of shit. You're making us look stupid. I deal with you guys because I understand. I understand. I understand. I don't want to be treated like that. But I'm part of the 3% that don't bullshit. I'm part of the 3% that got my money right when I call up a breeder and I'm asking about their dogs. And he tells me a price and I say, okay, does it got this? Does it got that? Does it got this and is it like that and like this and like that and is it like this, And he says yes, then I spend my money. I don't be over there playing like I'm gonna buy some shit when I ain't got no fucking money. Y'all better get this shit together, man. Y'all better get this shit together. But I digress. Let me put that link in the chat for those who qualify. I digress. You know what I mean? I had to get it off my chest, man. I had to get it off my fucking chest. Tired of that shit, man. Y'all, hey, I'm telling y'all want to see next level greatness, man. Y'all want to, man, you better have your money right. You better have your money right. Take advantage of the entry level. Take advantage, you know what I mean? Spend money, get your DNA, especially if you want to have a real program. Spend your money, man. Spend your money on some real DNA, man. Don't be shortcutting on DNA, man. Okay? You put your way back in the rears if you do. You be way back in the rears if you shortcut. I swear to you. But let me put that link in the chat. We're going to cook it up tonight. We're going to cook it up tonight, man. We're going to cook it up tonight. Link in the chat right now. Link in the chat right now. But like I said, I had to vent, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I got some next level shit, man. Y'all ain't getting that shit. You think y'all gonna get an AK with fucking a Malinois? You think y'all gonna get an AK with a Kangol for cheap? Y'all motherfuckers out your damn mind. You think you're gonna get one of those for cheap? Out your damn mind. I'll hold that shit. Korea.
What's up, coach?
You know what I mean? Hey, I apologize, Corey. You know what I mean? I didn't mean to get all extra credit. You know what I mean?
Oh no. Oh no. That's you said what you said. You said what you said. You mean that?
I mean,
I mean it too. Like real shit. Gotta, man, money talk. You want the dog? Money talk.
What's good, fellas?
What's good?
What's good, young ready? Okay,
Yeah.
man, salute.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah, salute.
Look, guys.
Chilling, man. How y'all doing, man?
What's the ticket on the Red Tigers, coach?
I don't even know if I want to say it, man. I mean, shit, motherfuckers, you know what I mean? That shit might scare you.
Yeah, you gotta say that in the DMs, man.
Scare
Yeah,
them.
man, you know, yeah, I don't want to be scaring these cats, man. You know, shit, I don't want to scare them. I mean, it's not, you know what, to be real with you, Corey, it ain't even that bad.
All right, so look, maybe you pitching it. Hey, maybe you just pitching it to the wrong people.
Right.
Maybe.
Well, that's my point.
You said a mouthful right there.
That was my point.
I mean,
that was my point. These are my, listen, I got 37,000 followers. I get inquiries all the time. All the time. I done sold hundreds of dogs already, okay? But I've gotten thousands of inquiries. Hey, I can't help who's attracted to my dogs. I'm just letting individuals know if you attracted to these type of dogs, you know, you got to pay to play.
Right.
Don't be short.
They're gonna start taking off. Those gonna start taking off. Just believe it. If they hitting you up, some watch. It's just go.
But they been hitting me up. That's my point.
Yeah. They're gonna start.
I'm always hit up. Everybody's asking me for dogs all the time. Where is your fucking money? That's my thing. If I'm asking somebody for some dogs, I got some money. I'm not asking for no dogs if I ain't got no motherfucking money.
See, it'd be crazy if you just.
That's why I haven't asked you about any dogs.
No, and respect, caveman. And listen, that's why when I ask somebody about some dogs, I have my money right.
Right. Yeah, I got my money.
That's my point.
See you till I got my money right. No matter what
Why am I asking about a price when I ain't got no money?
No matter what the situation is, yeah, I'm gonna get my money right. Fuck, no matter what it is.
Correct.
What's it cost to ship some straws across the country?
See, that right there, I don't really know because it varies on where you at. Like I've shipped some straws to Texas. I've shipped straws overseas to the Czech Republic, but it all varies. You know what I mean? It all varies. So
yeah, who provides the cryo chamber to ship them in?
Yeah, exactly. And
they do it by weight.
No, it's just like, okay, like when I shipped some straws to the Czech Republic, we was able to kind of get like a group deal.
Mm-hmm.
And other people were shipping overseas, so we got like a discount because it was multiple people shipping in one vial per se. So it worked out, but like I said, it varies. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no set price for that.
Right.
Like you would have to say, like, hey man, you had to say, okay, coach, I'm over here. I want 2 straws or whatever, 3 straws off of this dog. Get a price. Then I will have to reach out to my clinic who has my straws, and then they'll do what they do, and then voila. But I don't have. Go ahead, young lady.
No, I was gonna say, what happens if something gets damaged or lost?
I mean, shit. Then I guess we shit out of luck. But then I'm sure they'll credit us our money back at least. But we don't get the straws if they lose it.
Quick question: can you store that?
I think you buy insurance on it, right?
Probably.
Quick. Can you store that in a freezer?
No, not a real freezer. You need one of them damn cryo chambers, them nitrogen tanks or something, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
So you really need that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, you need a professional to do it, or either professional or you need to know what you're doing when it comes to storing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I could get one of those chambers, but then I'd have to pay somebody to drive out. But I've done that, but I've shipped dogs out to Montana to the lion hunters.
Montana.
Yeah.
Lion hunters. Oh, mountain lions?
Cougars, mountain lions.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
They just call them lions. You know how people are? They like to save syllables. They just call them lions.
Yeah.
Yeah, they.
Hey, Woods. We got somebody in the backstage. Woods. I don't necessarily know who you are, so not to knock you or whoever or whatever. I don't want you to feel like we're just leaving you out, but you got to qualify and participate in the chat. And once you qualify as far as somebody who's really about the dogs, and we trust the fact that you're not gonna come up here playing game. Not to say that you're here to do that. Once you do that, then you can come up on the panel. But until then, Woods, you gotta participate in the chat, brother. Duro.
What up, Coach?
It's good, Duro, man.
What's that word? What's that
Up,
word?
Duro.
Hey, Duro, I wasn't too bad, was I, Duro?
Nah, man, I loved it. I love that shit, man. I actually was like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, well, fuck it then, man. Let's just all have a fucking rant then, man. Shit, what the fuck? That's how that shit was. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shit, man. It was like listening to Tupac. You know how you listen to Pac and shit? And you be like, man,
yeah.
I'm about to just bomb out and shit. That's how I felt, man.
Shit.
Hey, I felt like Tupac, man. I can't even cap. I felt like Tupac when I had my rant. I was just like,
me too.
Come on,
sometimes
man.
Sometimes you gotta let that out, man.
That's a
and
fact.
like I say, I'm respectful to everybody, so I don't treat nobody no different. Even though I might feel a certain type of way when I'm talking to them, I always, I never let them understand that I'm feeling that way, and I always treat them with respect because I understand I'm on the other side too, but I'm different on the other side. So I make sure I do that. But I mean, enough's enough, man. Enough's enough. Like, this stuff is not making us look good as dog man. And like I said, if you're a serious dog man like me, when I come knocking at the door, it's harder for me to get in because of motherfuckers like them.
Right.
That's what upsets me. It's like they already stereotyping me because of motherfuckers like y'all on my line. Oh man, this guy over here bullshitting, and hey, another Negro bullshitting.
Yep. Yep.
And that's why I gotta make sure it be known. Like, bro, I got my money right. I say that off the top. You know what I mean? Like, real talk. I wouldn't have got no Buff Dogs DNA. I wouldn't have got AK if I didn't come off with that money talk first. I did that first. Like, bro, I ain't wolfing. I ain't selling no tickets. I got my money right. I'm ready to spin. I need to lock in. What's up? I said that off the top. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want to get ignored.
Yeah. Took care of you. That's how you get it. That's how you get the right shit right there. They're gonna fuck with you, man.
It's just, just like I said, as a dog man, if you ready to buy some stuff, okay, make sure save a couple of dollars. It might be out your price range, but let's say if you ask him, hey, how much you want for that dog? And he says 5,000, but you only got 3,000. You can say, hey man, you willing to do 3,000? I got 3,000. He might say, hey, give me 35. You see what I'm saying?
Shit, yeah, he's working with you.
Dog.
Yeah.
35
working with you.
Shit, money talk.
Yep.
Give me 35. We can work with it. Now you got a deal. You got a deal because at least you came with some money.
Yep.
But if you ain't got no money, but you talking about how much some shit is, come on, stop it. Stop it.
Yeah,
Stop.
you don't have
Don't
to
do
say
that.
shit. Yeah,
Don't
you
even
gotta
ask.
say it, nothing.
Not ready. You know, you just say, hey man, or do this. I respect you if you do this. I respect you if you do this. You come and say, hey coach, hey man, beautiful dogs, man. I would love, man. I want one of them puppies. I'm not ready. I'm not ready yet. Can you give me an idea of what they cost, you know, for the next time? And I might tell you, hey, ain't gonna be no next time. Like with Red Tiger, right? Ain't no next time for these. But if it was the next time, like, hey man, these dogs cost whatever. You know what I mean? Save your money. When the next time come around, you be ready. All right, coach, cool. But you know how many people I've said that to, especially for these Red Tigers, because I haven't had them on deck. The ones who missed out on that one when I only had one puppy that was already in fiending, them cats should be ready to go with their bread by now.
Yep.
Well, no, I previewed that litter about about 3-4 months before the fucking litter drop. I previewed the play. So that's the stuff that just like blows my mind. Like, okay, now the dogs is here. 50 cats. Out of them 50 cats, ain't nobody got you ain't got your money. 50 of y'all? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
That's
real.
crazy.
That sucks. Hey man,
But
like,
then out of the 200 people that want them damn bull herders, you think I'm gonna be motivated to cook those up?
nah.
200, like 200. Yeah, I got 200 of y'all that like no cap, 200. Probably more than that. I'm gonna say at least 200.
I'm not.
But I'm gonna cook those up, believing believing that y'all got y'all money, believing that y'all got y'all money right. When I smack y'all on the head with that $4,500 ticket,
they're not fucking with that.
They're not fucking with that.
Maybe a couple of bite though. You might get a few, but it ain't gonna be a lot. Like,
bro, I got over 200 people wanting them.
well, are any of them flaunting that bread, that bag?
But I ain't got that $1,000 deposit. I didn't get that $1,000 deposit.
See, that's
They
it.
don't got it.
That's it. See, if you would have got that deposit, that would have been a sure thing, been done.
And that's where I'm confused as a dog man, because that's what I do.
But hey, what about, would you try taking like deposits on like the Dutch herder type of joint now, and then you be cooking that up like in 2 years? You could start getting that now.
Ready, check this out. Remember when I fucking posted those pictures of AK and AK and Snow White, and I said, taking deposits January.
Now you did.
Remember?
You did.
I did that, 3-4 months before January?
Oh, man.
I got 200 people asking me about this shit, and I tell them, put your deposit down. I ain't got no deposits? What the fuck's wrong with y'all?
Yeah, they don't want that. They bullshit.
Y'all ain't serious about this shit. Y'all just capping.
Yeah.
That's what people do on the internet. They ain't serious about this shit. They ain't real dog men on the internet. These motherfuckers over here enthusiasts. They dog enthusiasts. They not real dog men and dog women. They ain't really with this shit. It just sounds good. It looks good. When you show some shit, it looks good.
Yeah, that's whack. What you think about the motherfuckers who don't want to spend money with you though?
Honestly, I just think they ain't got no money. They just broke. That's what I think. I just think they broke. And they don't know what it takes to really have a program. They don't understand that you got to have money to have a real program. You cannot have a top tier program with some garbage ass dogs with garbage genetics. Sorry. I hate to tell you, dog man, if you're an aspiring dog man or aspiring dog woman who want to have a top tier program, if you buying dogs that are dog shit cheap and dog shit genetics, you producing dog shit dogs. Period.
Yep.
Sorry. I gotta just keep it real with you. Sorry. I would have never had an AK if I didn't spend $12,000 for that motherfucker. Would you spend $12,000 for your AK? No. That's why you don't got them. I would never have my program, you guys, if I didn't spend over 6 figures for my dogs.
Yeah.
6 figures. So when you see all the dogs that coach has, you see the Kangal from Serbia, you see my fucking Malinois from, I think that bitch from Kosovo. I thought she was from Serbia. She's from Kosovo. The breeder corrected me. Okay. Overseas, AK overseas, all the shit I done spent, $10,000 bullies, all the shit. You see that shit? It's because I paid for it.
Yeah.
I spent the money. I bought it. Yes. I produced it, yes. I wouldn't have Buff Dog's whole recipe if I didn't spend the bag. Yeah, I spent the whole bag. I spent a lot of money with them. I shook them down with my money and my fucking intellect and my dogmanship. Yeah, I shook them down, but that bag was very intriguing. It made him come up off the DNA.
The money talked.
Yeah. Yella said he came across him back in 2008. I came across Buff Dog back in 2005. Okay, 2005, 2018. I came there with the bag, got connected me with him. I shook him down with the bag, got their whole DNA profile. Give me that. Took that shit like Chris Brown, but I came with the bag. Wasn't no stick up. I stuck him up with the money.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody else got the fucking DNA profile, the DNA, the whole formula, because they didn't have their money right. That's the whole point I'm making. You want a red tiger? You want a Formula One version of a red tiger? Man, spend some bread with the coach. I'm not gonna bust your head open. You're gonna pay me a fair price, but it's not gonna, your head ain't gonna be busted open. But you're gonna get a top tier dog better than what Buff Dogs produce. I guarantee you that. And this is, like I said, we're gonna get into the topic, but this is why, I had to give the rant, because it's like we all want to be
better than the topic, though, Coach.
I mean, yeah, but most people ain't comprehending. They not. It's still what I'm talking about. Is still over their head.
Exactly.
Real shit. Like real shit. What I'm talking about is still over these individuals' head. It's like we love these dogs. We want to create top tier dogs. We want to create performance dogs. We want the best dogs, but we ain't doing what's necessary to get the best dogs. And not only that, we don't understand how to produce them. You're not producing the best dogs with no garbage ass genetics. I'm sorry.
Correct.
I'm sorry. I hate to tell y'all this. Yes, I'm going to tell you the truth. That's what the coach is here to do, because I live this shit. Told y'all niggas, I'm a player coach. I'm doing this shit. As I'm coaching y'all, I'm doing it. I'm not telling y'all nothing I ain't did. It ain't money I ain't ever spent. Like, this is real life for me. So when I have these dogs that everybody's ooh and on, it's not for no reason. This is shit I fucking put my whole life in. I sacrifice everything for this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I'm producing better than like I said, I'm the Elon Musk of this shit. People got bull herders, but they don't got a bull herder like I'm about to produce. They don't have an AK. I don't get no regular Kangal. I go overseas and get my shit. I ain't got no shit from no America. I don't get no regular Malinois. I go overseas. I go overseas and get my shit.
That's what I'm talking about.
Y'all ain't cooking like the coach. So when I put a Malinois down with my gift, and I'm taking a freak of nature that can produce himself like AK, and I'm throwing him to some top tier fucking shit, you know you're gonna get better than what everybody else got. You know you're gonna get that. You know it.
Just off of that alone, they should be coming with the bag, man.
That's my point.
That's crazy.
That's my point. that is my point. That's where I'm like, okay, like I was as a dog man when I seen dogs, you know, like I said, when I seen AK's daddy and AK's mama, I seen what I could do with genetics that I saw. I didn't know if I could do it or not, but I seen the possibility. So I said, you know what? I need that. I need to add that to my formula so I can produce what I envision. I don't know if I'm going to, but I still need to have what I see.
Right.
And I can't go eeny, meeny, miny, mo and get that. Like, for example, we got Kenny, what's that motherfucker's name with his name is Kenny, and he does them red dogs, you know, them big ass Camelot dogs. You know what I'm talking about? He runs that Camelot blood and shit. His name is Kenny something. Anyway,
yeah.
Y'all, I'm sure y'all know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah,
I remember I followed him back in the day, and he was hating on Gunner. And the reason why he was hating on Gunner, there's probably two reasons. There's two reasons why. The first reason why is because he didn't produce Gunner and a black man produced him. You know, like I said, man, there's nothing I'm saying against my white brothers, man. I love all y'all, but you know, we gotta talk real with the shit, man. So please don't, you know, think that I'm talking down.
Yeah, I don't have any feelings left. I don't have any feelings left, Coach.
Oh, I'm just saying, man, just understand. I love you, man. I love all my white brothers, all my brothers. But you know, we just talking real shit, so I gotta talk real. So
yeah, I know the term present company excluded.
Okay. So salute to you on that, right? Salute to you on that. Okay, like I said, I love all y'all, man. So I'm just giving you my experience on what I see in the game. So when I seen how Kenny with Camelot was hating on Gunner, I was wondering why. Like, why would you hate on another man's dog? One reason because you didn't produce him. The second reason is because the dog is looking better than all your shit. Okay. And it's a red dog, and he's supposed to be the king of the red dogs. That's how he operates. And then the main point is that the dog was produced by a black man. Now, I see how they buy Kenny's dogs, and then I see how they buy my man Greg's dogs. And Kenny got a fanfare and all the shit he got going on because of his name and Camelot, all that shit. And he produces dope dogs, whatever. But then Greg got his, his is kind of low key. He's doing his thing, but it's low key. But he got better. To me, he got better dogs than Kenny. He got fucking Gunner. He produced Gunner and all kind of shit. So when I see how it flips and turns and all the game is and how the games is being played, and I see how people spend with certain people and they pay what they want to pay with certain people. But then you got somebody, let's say like Greg or somebody like me, who come in with some real shit, really campaigning, got top tier shit. I'm not trying to bust your head. I'm not trying to charge you as much as maybe Kenny would charge you. I'm being fair. I'm not charging you how much I pay for AK.
Right.
But my consumers, my fans, my supporters ain't even got the fucking jug price. You ain't even got the fucking fair price. I'm just giving you a fair price, not the lowest price. Fair price, not the highest price. You ain't even got the fair price. But me as a black man, I paid the highest price. I paid the retail price with the markup for you to get it for a fair price, but you can't even pay the fair price. Stop it. Y'all killing me. And this is why we are not getting ahead as dog men. Me included. I spent all the money. I did all the studying. I do all the research. I spent all, I mean, come on. I live this shit. Then I set everybody up who tap in with me. And then they can do what they do with the DNA for a fair price. So now they ahead. They don't got to spend what the coach spent. Now they ahead. But those people who I thought was attracted to what I'm offering, they don't got their money right. But then they wondering why they ain't producing the dogs that they want to produce, which is next level dogs. I'm talking next. I'm not talking about the same dogs that's already been produced. We're not talking about the same shit. We're not talking about retro old shit. We talking about next level shit. You wondering why you not producing next level shit? I'm producing next level shit. We talking about dogs of the future. I'm talking about Red Tiger now because he got puppies on deck. But his puppies is who I want to talk about next. I don't want to be talking. Red Tiger is done. I don't got no more straws off Red Tiger. I'm not talking about Red Tiger no more. He's done. It's going to be Red Tiger Jr. for the coach, y'all.
Yep.
I'm not talking about Red Tiger no more. I'm not talking about buff dogs no more. It's Formula One. I don't got no more buff dog blood. Which I do in the sperm bank. If I want to bring them back retro, yeah, I can do that. But I ain't got no more Red Tiger. I'm talking about the future. That's how we gotta think as dog men.
Yep.
Dog women. It needs to be, what are you producing better than the last? We are not talking about the past unless you're making a better variant of the past. If I'm going to make a 2028 version or 2029 version or 2030 version of AK, it's not going to be heavily inbred AK. It's going to be an outcrossed version of AK in the front or in the top three. That's going to be the AK blood. But it's going to be a better version of him. It's not going to be the old shit. It ain't going to be no old shit. Why? Now we're going to go into the topic at hand tonight, which is, why do you think the best performance dogs were cross versus heavy inbred or line bred? And I'm going to digress, and I'm going to let you guys cook, and I'm going to add my 2 cents.
Gotta put the ticker on, man.
That's right. That's why I already got it on deck. I already knew you was going to do that. I already knew you was going to do that. Watch this, young ready. Y'all go ahead and cook, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go ahead and cook. Go ahead and cook, man.
Why do you think the best performance dogs were crosses versus heavy inbred or line bred?
Heterozygosity.
Go ahead, man. I mean, hey, I'm in the class.
Yeah, baby. All right. When you do a crossbreeding, all traits from one parent cancel out any recessive traits from the other parent. Also, when you crossbreed, you're most of the time adding abilities that the other breed didn't have originally.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's about it in simple terms, you know.
Yeah, that's definitely the KISS method. Hey, come on, professors.
Yeah, basically, Caveman said it. Like, you basically putting in traits that the other breeds don't have.
Yeah, you might have to breed a hound or a bird dog that's got some endurance to that bulldog, so they got some heat tolerant, and run more than 100 yards, you know.
I like that.
I think outcrossing makes the better performance dogs. Only reason why I say that is because you gonna
every animal, every performance animal, your egg chickens, your meat chickens, your meat goats, your meat cattle, your milk cattle, your race horses, your performance dogs, all of them are hybrids.
Right. All of them are hybrids.
Facts. Come on, professors.
Shit.
Come on, we can dig deep into this one. I mean, this. I mean, the whys. There's so many whys. Okay, and what Caveman gave us is the KISS method. You know what I mean? He broke it down and simplified it. But I mean, there's reasons too. There's a lot of reasons why that the crosses make better performance animals or dogs, since we're talking about dogs. So okay, I'll piggyback off of what K-Man was saying to a degree. Now, if I wanted, and like I said, we have to think like this when we're making better animals. If there's an animal or dog that I see, whether it comes from a same fam or a different family of the same breed or a different breed, and I am a performance dog breeder, enthusiast, and producer, I'm looking at dogs to add to my DNA profile, to add to my genetic characteristics. I am looking for dogs that are going to show me these things. So,
yeah.
Yes. So, if there were dogs of my breed type that were bred a certain way that showed me things that my dogs lacked, and I didn't want to deviate from that phenotype that I already have, then I'm going to definitely reach out and add that to my blood.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to keep breeding the same if I want better. I'm not going to do that. Now, breeders of the past might not have had those options. So with that being said, if they didn't have that option, then of course they're going to do what they got. They're going to do what they can do. They're going to inbreed, line breed, and then they're going to produce what they have. And let's say they use them for whatever they use them for, and that's all they know. Until they bump their head on an accident, you know,
Hit that
a
wall.
mutt breeding, right? A mutt breeding, or they see a dog that they partner got that's another breed that they've never seen before. And they're like, where'd you get that from? What is that? Oh man, that's whoop wop, whoop wop, whoop wop. I got that from overseas when I was in Vietnam, or I got that from when I was in Korea. Right? Right?
Yes.
You see what that is doing versus what your shit is doing. And you're like, yo,
I need some of that.
I need some of that. I need some of that. Then you cook it up, and then you get introduced to what we call hybrid vigor. Then you see what you produce is better than what you saw from your partner's dog and the dog that you got. So now as a breeder, you like, damn, we on to something now. We on to something now. I got that wind, or I got whatever else, that agility. I got that the thicker bone. You know, I got the stronger jaws. I got the better hearing. I got the better smell. Whatever you was lacking, you like, damn, I got that. Damn. So now as a dog man who know how to cook, who want better dogs, you're like, well, shit, now I think I need to add this to my formula. I think I need to do these crosses more often.
Yeah. Because the heavy inbred's not going to be very good in the long run.
It ain't going to be reliable.
Nah,
well, watch this.
Not healthy.
Everything plays as a breeder. Like I always tell y'all, all of it play. Now, if you want to tighten, so let's say you got some shit that's really good and you want to tighten it up genetically, then of course, do that shit. Inbreed that motherfucker to tighten it.
Yeah.
But you're only doing it to compound that as much as you can without destroying it. You're not doing it, you're not doing it because, I got to keep this shit pure, or I got to keep it like as is and all that stupid ass dumb shit. We don't do it like that. We doing it, okay, there's a reason why we're going to inbreed. Because I want to compound this so that if I do outcross it, that variant of what I want is still prevalent enough, even though I might outcross it to something totally different. I'm still going to see that, even though I'm going to see that difference. Yeah, I'm going to see those genetic characteristics that I wanted because I compounded it enough in my genetic profile that even if I outcross it, I'm still going to see it. I'm still going to see it.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. That makes sense. Now, if your genetics around you or your selection is limited, of course you're going to inbreed and line breed. until you meet that mutt. You want to call it a mutt, or you might meet that F1, F2, F3, or whatever you might meet, and you see it fucking run circles around your inbred, linebred dog. You be like, shit, what you gonna do then? You gonna still stick to your same recipe?
No, you got to sneak some of that shit in there.
Yeah, you're gonna have to talk to that man like, yo, what'd you do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because we talk about performance here. And I always want to stress that to y'all. Like, we high performance, we're performance dog breeders. We're performance dog men. We want our dogs to perform better, 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 better.
So
Better,
that-
better, better, better.
So the outcrossers got to be superior
Yes. Yes.
in high performance. Yeah.
There needs to be a reason. That's why I say, like, when we cook, we need to take notes. Like, there needs to, if you do a cross, make sure there's a real reason behind it. Yes, it's a hypothesis. We don't necessarily know what it's going to, we don't know the conclusion of it, but at least make the hypothesis make sense on paper. And then take what we know about crossing and the vigor that comes out of it and roll your dice. But we know that these are the reason why, you know, species adapt, dogs become greater. The breeds that we have are here today is because individuals like ourselves who understand performance, who understand that, you know what, not one breed is going to give me everything I want. Just because you got a breed like mine's, your dogs might not be bred the way I want them to be bred. Yeah, it's going to bring vigor, but you're not going to really make my dogs better. I want my dogs to be better. Our dogs are, let's say, the same, right? Let's just say our dogs are kind of similar trait-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to get vigor, but I mean, how much further is that going to push my line? Not too much. Unless you get a dog that's, you know, like I said, showing you something else, but then that breeder probably should tell you really what's in it, though.
Yeah.
Like, tell me what's in it. Like, let's be real.
Tell me what's in it. Joints mixed.
Right. We know you probably did a, you know, F1 and then clean it up and, you know what I mean, try to piggyback that shit three generations after, try to clean it up with 3 generations of the same dog. I get it. But tell me that. And that's why I want you guys to understand, and we do, but, you know, those who might be listening to the lab, understand that whatever it takes for us as dog men and dog women to make the best performance dogs, do it. Don't let nobody tell you, don't do this and your dog ain't that. If you do this, don't do that. No, because I'm telling you, the OGs and the ones who's out here overseas doing dogs, they don't think like us. Them cats overseas, they didn't think like us Americans when it comes to dogs. I wouldn't have never got an AK if I didn't go overseas to the UK and got them.
Right.
Cats ain't breeding like my man Simon was breeding over there in the AK. I mean, excuse me, in the UK. They didn't have his vision. He had his own vision. He spent his own money. He crossed dogs. He wasn't inbreeding shit. He was crossing shit. Maybe he was on to something. I don't know. But I got a dog named AK. Freaking nature.
Good job. He did that.
I mean, I'm grateful. But he wasn't thinking like how some people was thinking when they was, let's say, buying dogs from my man Greg, and they was buying, you know, all from the same family of dogs, and they was breeding them the same way Greg was breeding them. Which that's his line. He can breed the way he want to breed. But Greg wasn't breeding the way Simon was breeding. And Simon bought a few of Greg's dogs, but he bought a whole bunch of other dogs from a whole bunch of other different lines too, and didn't cook them up the same as Greg. Which set him apart. Even though he got dogs from Greg. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, man. All these dogs are super, super inbred. Like the regular pits, yeah, they all inbred. I think I was
Caveman can
They're
probably
not.
elaborate. Go ahead, Caveman.
Yeah, a lot of those dogs aren't bred like the papers say they are. They stacked papers and they lied about what they was mixing. They said they weren't mixing shit in, and they most definitely were. And getting that edge, getting that high performance edge, and you see the same in the marijuana growing business. People doing it and misdirecting everybody else, making sure they're the only ones that win. Oh, this dog's bred this way. You try to copy it, and you never come up with what they got because that dog ain't bred that way.
Right.
Or they get a dog on their yard that's got a name. All them pups that come out of that yard they're gonna be double bred to that dog, triple bred to that dog. 7 times bred to that dog. Don't matter what their pups are.
Yeah. And then you get it, and then you breeding it to its 50th cousin and shit.
And that's what ruins the dog. So watch this. Like you said, Caveman, I'm glad you said that. And they know this shit, but they just on some naive shit. They talking stupid. If you bred that way, you're destroying the dog. If your dog is 10 times, if you inbred and had that dog 5 times, 7 times in the same shit up close, them dogs is trash.
Yep.
Yeah, people used to get mad at me for teaching other people how to grow weed back when it was illegal. They're like, what the fuck you doing? Because they're selling the shit for $100 a quarter. And I'm teaching people how simple it is to grow your own. It's just the way it is when there's money to be made. And, there was tens of thousands of dollars a night at game dog shows. What kind of motivation is that for a crooked motherfucker?
Right. Why would they give you the recipe if they over there winning and making that money? I wouldn't give you the recipe.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you I crossed it with this and crossed it with that. For what? Why? So you can do it and beat me with it? And if I can make you believe that because my shit is a champion and then your dog is bred to mine, you're going to have champions. I mean, shit, if I can sell you on that, fuck, you the dummy. And that's how they was doing it. But that's not how you create no champions.
No, they were motivated to win so much that they pretty much adulterated the gameness of the dog and just started making hard-mouthed dogs that could shut the match down quick. And, gameness was never really tested. And that was never the idea of the pit bull. There's a lot of dogs that can whip a pit bull, but there's no other dog that's game like a pit bull. They don't put on a show. That was the whole idea. It was the gameness. It wasn't who was the best fighter.
And think about the game factor. But think about the gameness though. To me, a game dog is based off of that heavy inbreeding, making them stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true right there. Yeah.
When you heavy inbreed a dog, because I had one that was heavy inbred and I gave him away because he was dumb. I hate a dumb dog. That's one thing I can't stand.
Facts.
And he was heavy inbred and he was stupid as hell. One trick pony. I call him a one trick pony. He was dumb. Now, if you're willing to take it all the way when your leg is bit off, you know what I mean? Whatever, everything is done, but you still trying to scratch and you're not trying to save your life. That's a dumbass motherfucking dog. Now, like you mentioned, okay, man, when you about that performance, you about that action, you want to see the dogs finish them. You want that finish them. You want that Mortal Kombat finish them. I don't need you to last no 3 hours. Finish that motherfucker.
Yeah.
So if you want your dog to be a finisher, then you know what? I'm gonna outcross to something that's got, I might have to throw a fucking Kangol in that bitch and wash that bitch out. You know what I mean? I might have to throw something in there with some super jaw power.
Yeah.
And if we doing weights in a date, you ain't gonna question me what my shit is as long as we match up at the end of the day, waiting the date. As long as my shit looks somewhat like a goddamn pit bull, we gotta wait in the date. I crop his ears or something like that. We in the rink. We performing. But if my dog is crushing your shit in 20 minutes, and your dog is game, but everything you bring in here, I'm crushing, I'm gonna tell you, I'm a cap. I'm gonna be like, you know, yeah, man, that's quadruple times fucking, you know, Sun Tzu and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know what I mean? That's 10 times bread, freaking honey bunch, whatever. I'm a cap. I don't want you knowing that I just added some shit you wish you did that you didn't even think of, but I did, because you didn't have no line. Your homeboy didn't have no dog from overseas that was a killer, and I got it.
Yeah, that's ill.
But that's my point when it comes to the topic, though. You know what I mean?
You need to put in some of that Mastiff. You might have to put in some of that Kangal so you could get that extra wind and shit.
Yeah. The hound dog, the whippet, whatever you
More
whatever.
drive. You need superior drive. You know, I want to stop.
And like I've proven in my own lab, there's dogs that are so powerful when it comes to their genetics, overtaking their counterpart, their mate. Like I can take AK and take them to whatever, and then them dogs look like AK, but you know what? That dog's a whole nother breed. You wouldn't even fucking know it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's how they was hip to the game. They've had dogs where it looked like a pit bull, but it was a total F1.
Yeah.
So you thinking it's all good, but at the same time, bro, I done did a whole total F1. This is a whole different breed. And then those dogs can produce themselves even still, even though they're a 50-50 type, you know what I'm saying, cross with another breed, because their genetics overpowered. That shit plays. And so that's why when it comes to performance and you are judging your dog not off what it looks like, but off of what it can do, off of what you was why you were crossing it, and you see it. That's why, I mean, it is what it is. That's why the crosses always win. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to inbreed some shit unless I have to. If I don't got nothing else to breed to, then I guess I got to inbreed. I got to breed brothers and sisters and shit like that, because I ain't got that genetic palette. I don't got that option. But if I got options, I'm cooking. If I go to your yard, you got all kind of shit I don't got, and they doing things that my dogs ain't doing, we gonna cook them up. We gonna cook them up for sure. And if I'm winning money, whatever it might be, sled racing, whatever it might be, and I'm winning money, oh, I'm gonna cook my dog up the way I want to. You ain't gonna tell me how to cook up my dog. And I'm not cooking up my dog because you tell me it got to be bred the same way.
It's true.
And then it goes back to the variances that we talk about with these different breeds. That's why there's so many variances, because there's some people that's like, yo, I like the dog, but you know what? I need more. I need a little bit more out of this dog.
A little bit more, yeah.
I need it to be like this. I mean, I do like the dog, but you know what I mean? I need some more features.
So you gotta outcross again.
But even with that outcross, the crosses that might be of your breed type, you might not, you know, they might be lesser than even what you got. You might, you know what? Yes, from a different family, but your family ain't even compete with my shit.
You gotta toss the whole shit and start over.
Yeah, well, you just got to add whatever you lacking. You might have to go outside of it, and if your genes are strong enough, then bring it back, clean it back up. You know, bring that out end of a whole nother breed, then bring it back to your shit again and clean it. You know, tighten it back up.
Hopefully, you'll be successful this time.
That's why you keep whole litters.
That's a fact.
That's why you breed them all.
Sometimes you have to make F2s to get what you want. Because nature says, no, this is going to be what the pups come out like. The traits that you want are still carried in some of those pups, but you have to recombine them. When you do the F2, the dominant trait thing no longer applies.
Damn.
Yeah, I wish I had a dry erase board to turn my camera on and shit. I can draw it out black and white. But yeah, when the genes split, you know, the breeding has genes from mom and genes from dad. Still, you know what I mean? Let's say mom had a recessive trait on her skin coat, and dad was dominant. So
Right.
dad determines the color of all the pups because he cancels out mom's recessive trait, right?
Mhm.
But
Yes.
when their genes split up, half of those pups get that recessive trait from the mom. So if you're trying to breed that recessive trait, you got to pick two pups that carry that recessive trait and breed them together, and then their pups will have the traits that you're looking for. But it'll be like a 25, 50, 25. Same with diseases, especially like diseases that are carried on the X chromosome. You know, you can eliminate that shit in one breeding because 25% of the pups won't have it. 25 will, 50% of the others won't have it, but they'll carry it. But 25% won't have it
At all, right? Yeah, and that's the ones you
right.
want.
And that's why you can ruin a breeding in one generation by selecting one or both wrong dogs.
That's crazy, man. That's that science right there. Holy shit.
Okay, and another thing is all the pups, you know, they don't share the same combination of genes. Like
Right.
it gets more complicated as you learn about recombination. You learn about another thing called meiosis, where instead of like I said, you get half of your genes from mom, half from dad.
Right.
They come together and determine your phenotype. Okay, when they split, it's not as simple as you get a full copy from dad and a full copy from mom. When the cell is multiplying, the new nucleus smashes the genes together and then rips them apart, and they don't break evenly. And that's why the thing about the strongest swimming sperm is a myth, because it's a matter of chance that you get a one from each parent that ripped off where they'll match back together. Like you get the same set of chromosomes missing on one that's there on the other, and missing on that one that's there on the other.
Nah, that makes sense. Holy shit.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. Really. I mean, it's simple. It's simple. You can observe all this with the eye without knowing all this. You know, you can put it to practice and watch and test your dogs and do all this without this information, really. But you got to put the work in.
You still gotta breed all them dogs, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, without straight up embark in every pup, which still that's an artificial measure. It ain't like the good old fashioned testing every pup and breeding every pup. You know, and matter of fact, what you'd want to do is every female you'd want to breed her the same breeding. You'd want to breed her with all of her brothers. Hopefully 3 or 4 of them, all father pups out of that same litter. Do that to every female, then you'd get every combination possible.
Shit.
Yeah.
If you had 4 and 4.
But see, that's what most people aren't going to do. They're not going to be in the lab. They're not going to be cooking. They're not going to test all their females. They're going to be calling shit, and then they be calling shit that might have been their best producer. You know what I'm saying? It's like stuff like
damn.
stuff that we're talking
If you're
about.
breeding for looks and don't care about health, there you go.
That too, right?
Yeah.
And then they think the best performer is going to be the best producer. It's like the art of what we're talking about, which is breeding. They're not respecting their genetics. Like you mentioned, Caveman, every puppy has their own variant of those genes that come from their parents.
Yeah.
So each puppy is bringing something different to the table genetically, even though they come from the same genetic pool. So if we are really in tune with our craft as breeders, we need to test every single puppy's genes.
Yes.
If we're really about the art form of producing better dogs, because we need to see for ourselves who is going to give me better. You might look better, you might act better, but are you going to give me better puppies? I don't know. The only way I do know is if I breed you in multiple variations of ways. Like somebody might take a dog and breed it a certain type of way, and then they only have that way to breed it and wonder why they're not producing. And they say, oh, this dog's not a good producer. Well, maybe your genetic combination don't make sense.
Yeah.
How would you know this? Well, you didn't breed it to enough to understand the combinations that you was putting together. Maybe that male's genetics didn't work well with that female's genetics.
Right.
Like these are the things that we need to understand in order to produce better dogs. We need to understand that it's going to take time. You're going to have to put the work in. You're going to have to experiment. If I have dogs that come from top tier genetics, like I said, I want to see what every puppy is going to give me. If I'm a breeder, now if I'm a performer, I need you to work. I need to pick the best working dogs, period. Okay, you don't fit the working program, okay, you don't make it. I get that. But we're talking about making dogs. We're talking about producing better dogs. So I need all those genetics. I need to test every single one of y'all's genetics.
Damn.
Me
So
personally.
I was gonna say, what happens if two brother dogs hit the same female at the same time? What happens with the genetics there?
I mean, you just gonna have to find out which father is for, which ones is the father, and then you got to observe them. And then once you observe those puppies, then you need to breed them.
Yeah, the female drops her eggs over a period of 9 days so she can get bred by multiple males. Not like a human that's fertilized and then it's done.
Yeah.
Right. I got them dual sires, litters and shit like that, and etc.
I don't know if I would do that with the sister. I think I'd do that with the nieces. I think I'd probably go for a male and do the outcross, then do nieces. Probably would do that with the sisters.
That depends on what you're trying to do, though.
Yeah, depends what I'm trying to pull up. Yeah.
And if the sisters and brothers genetics aren't tightly bred anyway, I mean, shit, you're really not gonna run into no complications if you breed brother and sister.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Because it's not really inbreeding. I mean, it is, but it's not like people think because of what you just said.
Yeah, the genetics is not tight anyway. So it's like, it's like, okay, yeah, you're tightening it up, but it's not like plus on plus on plus on plus. It's not like a magnet where it's like shit, this shit's, like we're forcing the genetics together because they're two the same. But this goes back to the art form of it, understanding why you're doing it. There should be a reason why you want to take brother and sister together. It should be a reason. Okay. I like the genetics in these two. I love, matter of fact, I love them. I want to compound them. I know I'm not going to break anything. I'm just going to tighten it more. And then I want to tighten it because I'm going to cross it to this.
That's when you do the outcross after you do that. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Because you want those genes that you tighten to be prevalent in that outcross.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you know you're going to get a variant when you outcross, but you still want to see, it's like, okay, the things that I love about these genes from this brother and sister breeding, the reason why I wanted to compound that, I want to see if I, you know, God willing, can I see about 35-40% of that? If I can see 35-40% of that, I'm happy with that outcross.
Yeah.
And I'm accepting the variance because I want the vigor. I'm accepting the fact that that vigor is going to overtake that type breeding. I'm accepting that. But I still want to see the main components of those genes. As a breeder, I want to at least see that. Like, okay, I see that. That's why I tightened it up.
Yeah, that's the only way to get hybrid vigor. To have a true F1, the only way to do it is have two inbred lines that are opposite of each other. I mean, when you do the F1, you have to be, you know, like the father has to be given all the same trait to all those pups, not two sets or more, you know what I mean, on those alleles. You don't want to be given different alleles to each pup. You want dad to be given the same allele to every pup and mom giving the allele to every pup.
Mm-hmm.
So you saying the best hybrid vigor combination is two inbred dogs bred together, but from different families.
Yep. Or two species. A true F1, a true hybrid anyway, not F1, because F1 is filio generation. True hybrid is two different species.
So like a lion.
It's because they're right. Or a horse and a donkey. You know, all that. But we call it a hybrid, but yeah, it's a F1. But the only way to have an F1 is to have two inbred lions. And the idea is that they're like totally opposite. You know, like you have a dog that's long-legged, athletic, and you breed it to a dog that's real beefy.
Okay.
You know, kind of thing.
So two
and
of
you want the mom to give the pups, all the pups, that same body type, and dad to give all the pups his same body type. So they have to be locked down, or you're not really doing what you think you're doing. You're working, if they're not locked down already, you're working with a what's called a poly hybrid. You know, what you're saying is you're just throwing shit all over the place, you know, in all different directions. And you can still do that. It doesn't have the amount of hybrid vigor like an F1, but the traits are absolutely in there. And you just have to pick them out and breed likeness to likeness. That's what I do above all else. I breed, unless I'm trying to add something, which I'm still breeding like to like, but I'm breeding something that's, like you said, like, but with this other trait.
Yeah. Yes. That's how I breed when I want to keep my line similar. However, I still want the variant because, like I said, I want to produce better. You know, I don't ever want to see the same shit. Just me as a dog, man. I want to see a variant that's better. So with all the genes that I have at my disposal as you know, a breeder, I want to see those variances. You know, it's like that's why I wanted those genetic characteristics in my lab. I want to see it. I want to see it come out, but I want to see a better version of it. So me personally, I never want to see the same. I want to see better than, I want to see similar, but not the same.
Not the same, right? The next model.
Yeah. That's exactly how I see it. I want to see the next version. You know, if I had a, like for example, Red Tiger Jr., for example, of course I'm going to get different. But if I had a Red Tiger, then I see a Red Tiger Jr., I see similarities, but that's Junior's his own dog, even though, like, yeah, that's his daddy. Like, oh yeah, I can tell that's his daddy, but Junior is not his daddy. Like shit like that. I like to see that. But at the same time, a lot of people who breed, like we were talking about, like with the topic, if they have a great dog, they want to keep that great dog. So they keep inbreeding it and inbreeding it and line breeding it and shit, and they destroy the dog.
I get what you're saying. So basically, it's like it's enough dogs to where you don't have to inbreed. Like you can outcross. Like, you can outcross. You don't have to inbreed. You don't gotta stay inside your shit. Not, I mean, you can, if you choose to inbreed, and keep your look, that's fine. But eventually you're gonna have to outcross. But I mean,
just make better.
Yeah, just make better. Yeah, just make better.
Don't get caught up in the dog that's in front of you. Respect the dog that's in front of you. If the dog is a hell of a dog, great dog, you got him. But as far as that dog's genetics is concerned, if you are a breeder, you're not doing that dog's lineage any justice making the same dog that's in front of you.
Yeah.
You're not a good breeder if that cook up that you got with those great genes of that dog that's in front of you, that soul of a dog that's in front of you, if them puppies are not better, then you ain't you regular. You just regular. You ain't nobody special. You know what I mean? The dog man that produced that dog, or let's say you produced that dog, but you didn't produce better, then what? You and your dog gonna get surpassed.
That's a fact.
Yep.
Cause I guarantee you, somebody in another yard, somebody overseas is light years ahead of you with their program.
That's a fact too.
Yeah, you really should have a mentor if you want to be a breeder.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. However, it needs to be a mentor. I would say this, K man. It needs to be a mentor that allows you as a young dog man, not by age, but let's say young in your experience of being a dog man, to experiment. Try things out. Like, because I don't want to, me as a mentor, for example, I don't want to hinder let's say my apprentices or my students from surpassing my vision as the Elon Musk of high performance working dogs. I want you to raise the bar above me. You know what I'm saying? Like, some mentors want to keep you at a level where you always will be an apprentice. Now, you might have something in your thought process in your lab that I wouldn't do. Like we were talking about with that Frenchie and that shit. I always bring that up. The Frenchie dog, right? But see, me as a mentor, I could easily say, like, bro, don't do that stupid shit. That's dumb as hell. You know what I mean? I could say that, because to me, I'm like, that's crazy. But I don't want to hinder you as my apprentice from producing something that might be fucking superior.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of mentors out there that don't want to pass the torch. So you have to be aware of your mentors. And I agree with you, K-Man. We should have mentors, but be aware of your mentors who want to hinder you from progressing. Because a lot of people will tell you, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. That's why I don't do that shit. I can easily say that shit, like, bro, I wouldn't do that shit. But I don't want to do that because I want you to have your trial and error just like me. I want you to find out. And then maybe I'll tell you afterwards, like, I mean, I wanted to tell you that I would, but I wanted you to find out for yourself, though.
You need to get that experience.
Yeah, coach.
You need
I could have did this. Go ahead.
Yeah, you needed the experience.
Yeah. That's how we keep raising the bar. Somebody got to try the shit. Somebody got to do it. And us as Pioneer Dog, man, that's what I promote. try it. You know, try that shit. Oh, you got an idea? Try it. You know what I'm saying? Try it, man. But you know, make sure you got a reason why you try it before you try it, you know. But try it. You know, you might blow my mind. You know what I mean? You might create something that had a whole world like, what? You know what I mean? Take a Chihuahua back to a Great Dane, to a Greyhound, to a damn, you know, whatever. You might have some crazy damn combinations you going back and forth with, but then produce something superior.
Exactly.
But if we talking how we talking, and there's a reason why you might go from a big dog to a Chihuahua, and there's characteristics that you see. It's not necessarily sizes and type of dogs, but you seeing genetic characteristics for performance, and then mathematically and genetically you produce it. I mean, shit, epic.
It's not about the look, it's about the performance, what they doing.
Yeah, like why are you doing it?
Yeah. Yeah, I ain't got no vision like that, but if you challenge me, I could make something out of that.
Man, I seen a Rottweiler mix with a one of them hot dog dogs.
Mm.
Yeah, that joint blew my mind, bro. Cause the
Dachshund?
joint, huh?
Is it the
The Dachshund? Yeah, the Dachshund joint, bro. The joint when I pulled up to the yard in Pennsylvania, one of my friends' cousin's house. The joint looked like it was laying down, you know what I'm saying? With its head up, like looking. And it was black and brown, just like a rock. Same thing. Tail docked and everything. But it looked like it was laying down. The joint was standing up.
So it was super short?
It just like a dachshund.
Wow.
But it was big, like a rock.
How the fuck you
had
even
the
breed some
stubby
shit like
legs.
that?
Yeah, it had the stubby legs, but big ass paws, bro. And when that joint was mad mean and all that, but it couldn't run because it was flopping. The legs was flopping.
How you even breed something like that though?
I don't know. It must have been
Those females will lay on their
accidental.
back and let those little males breed them.
Yeah, it must have been an accidental breeding.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of females lay right on their back so a little dog could breed her. Lay right on her back, spread her legs. I also had a pit bull mastiff. Somebody took their game dog and bred it to their brother's female bull mastiff, and they just held the dog up. They just held him up there where he could reach. But you can build a stand. Yeah, you can build a stand for him to stand on. All kinds of stuff been done to pull off that vision.
Shit.
Yeah, my friend of mine, I had a friend of mine, like what you was mentioning, Caveman. I had a friend of mine who had a female Doberman and a Jack Russell Terrier, and that's the same thing. What he did though, his crazy ass, he fucking put his Jack Russell up on a stool and let his Jack Russell breed with his Doberman, female Doberman, and he had puppies and shit. That's how he did it.
Damn.
That's crazy, man.
I was like, you fucking crazy, man. But hey, them dogs they look dope though. It looked like a dope ass. I mean, they look like a dope dog though. I was like, damn, puppies turned out pretty dope.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we got to remember that they're all dogs.
Yeah. Jack Russell got a job.
That's a
Coach,
lot.
did you see him fully grown though?
Yeah, they look good.
For real?
Yes. That's why I said it looked dope. You know what I'm saying?
Like some dumbass shit.
But he was doing it, and he was doing it because he was, you know what I mean? Like he was dumb as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you do that stupid shit? You know what I'm saying? But that's just, that's who he was. You know what I mean? But the dogs turned out dope. I was like, yo, them dogs look cool. And they was working.
Crazy performance.
And they was working.
They working dogs like he.
Yes.
Russell's get busy, bro.
That's what's up.
Russell's get busy, bro.
You said Jack Russell, right?
Yes, sir. Jack Russell Terrier.
Okay,
Jack Russell Terrier and a what?
And the Doberman Pinscher.
Doberman?
Yeah, don't.
Oh yeah, okay. This is one thing you'll hear from. This is one thing you'll hear from a lot of people trying to create their own breed or experienced dogmen. They'll tell you that terrier blood and that mastiff blood are sticky.
What do you mean by that? Sticky? What do you mean?
Well, it's pretty dominant and it's hard to get rid of because it's dominant. And I think just too because them working dogs been selectively bred so much that they're not throwing a bunch of different genes. They're throwing all the same. But, yeah, you'll notice like you breed terrier into something, it's pretty heavy influence. Same with a mastiff. You try to make a American bully by mixing a pit bull and a mastiff, you're going to do some breeding before you get rid of that mastiff blood, unless you just breed right back to your little pit bull out of it.
That's why them dogs out there in the UK, them XLs in the UK, it was over there killing people and shit.
Yep.
Yeah, because you're taking a dog that's naturally a defense-driven animal that doesn't like people, doesn't like strangers or anything new, and then breeding it with a dog that's got that drive of the pit bull and that finish. Now, same with a wolf. You breed a wolf with a dog and you get a wolf that doesn't fear people. You create a monster.
Yep. Yeah, that's crazy, man. So
That's why so many fucking dumbass mutts out here.
But then the mutts is the ones that live longer.
That's letting them loose to do it. That's the shit. It's the people that's letting them free to do it.
But then, like I said, the mutts is the ones that live the longest and survive and the smartest is the mutts.
Yeah. And they the healthiest too.
Yeah. And this is what we found out by trial and error. I'm gonna say other dogmen who experiment or have had accidents. This is what we find out when things just happen on our yard, or we might pick up the stray that we don't know what it's bred like, and that dog be the best dog out of all of our dogs that we thought that was the shit. You're like, damn, this motherfucking whatever dog is killing all my shit or outperforming all my top tier shit, whatever I think. Like, damn, like why? And then you might have an accident breeding and then you find out why. Or you might have a vision and you do a breeding and then you find out why. Then once you find out the mathematical equation genetically, then you start really experimenting. And then you make it. Go ahead.
You ever had an accident on some dumb shit, like two dogs that you wouldn't even put together, like got together and shit?
No, sir.
Yeah, I ain't think so.
Yeah, no, sir, not at all.
Hell no. Right.
I run a strict yard. You know what I mean? So
the best.
We don't allow things like that to happen.
Yeah, I was just wondering because, like, I was just wondering, like, how the fuck. I mean, shit happened. It's just like, dogs get loose and, you know what I'm saying, get into a fight type accident. So I get it. But I was just wondering, like, what the fuck? That's like, yo, you got a Shih Tzu with some shit in the house and then that shit just lock up with your pit bull type shit. Like, that's like, how the fuck that happened, though, man?
Well, okay. So there's like, let's say for my yard, the males and females, they're in the same vicinity. So they've been smelling pussy since they was since pussy was bleeding. So it's nothing new to them as they mature to know what that shit smell like. So my males don't act fucking dumb over some bloody pussy because they've been smelling it since they was puppy before they knew how to hump. So unless I put them in a situation where it's time to hump, they ain't doing no extra credit to try to break out and get into no pussy because they've been smelling that shit before they knew how to hump. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? We have some females that come in the heat at 6 months. The male semen ain't really mature till about 10 months. So he might be sniffing and shit, but he ain't really understanding how to hump. right? Don't really understand how to hunt. So that smell, my males get used to. So my males don't go crazy when my dogs is in heat. Like my males don't, because they already know what that smell like. They know, okay, if I'm gonna get some pussy, that's daddy gonna let me out and I'm gonna get some pussy. But if I smell pussy, I already know what that smell like, because it's all around the yard. So I don't have that issue where I got males trying to break out and climb out because they smell some bitches in heat.
The females don't be acting up though. Like they don't be trying to get out.
Not my bitches. My bitches be playing hard to get, man. They be on that high five. You playing hard to get, but she want it. Yeah, they be on that shit. My bitches. But like I said, I have a yard that got a certain level of order. So when it's time, then I'll, when I'm setting my breeding committee up, we're going to bring them in there. We're going to let them do what they do. They understand, okay, daddy letting us play. I'll let them do what they do. But if I'm not allowing it, then it's not something that they going crazy over like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Yeah. Oh, I had another question. How true is it if you bring a female that hasn't gone into heat yet around a bunch of other females that are going into heat? Is that gonna make that female go into heat too?
You might get it.
Yeah, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes.
Yeah.
I've had females that don't come into heat for like 3 years and shit.
See, my shit be doing that. Tricky shit. Yeah.
Yep.
Funny shit.
That happened to multiple bitches. Like Draca, she didn't come into heat till she was 3 years old. Same thing with Little Mama. She didn't come into heat till she was 3 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, my joint didn't have her first heat until she was like 8 months. And then the second one wasn't until like 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, damn. But then she skipped one like until like about 4 and shit.
Yeah, it's weird. With the females that's very athletic and shit, those ones be the ones that be fucking throwing off their heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least that's what I've witnessed.
That's right.
Yes. In any animal,
silent heat.
Even cattle, they get too masculine. And it's as simple as testosterone, estrogen balance. They get too masculine and they start losing their fertility.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You want feminine, good mothers. Fuck what you're just females from good lines, but you want to pick the most feminine and the sweetest mother. You know what I mean? You don't want no fucking crazy puppy eating bully looks like them. What do they call them? She-males now. That's the thing. Yeah, that's not desirable. You can produce badass males without having a fucking dyke for a mom, you know.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Or they'll get prolapse. Like Big Bertha, that bitch was fucking stacked. But she had prolapse and shit. That bitch had a fucking pussy coming out. Pussy was inside out.
Yeah, that's the only time I've ever seen that is when I had those Razor's Edge dogs. I had a female do that.
That shit was horrible.
Hey, Coach.
Yeah.
What you think about what King Carter said?
What's that?
He said when these hybrid vigor and mixed dogs, what kind of paperwork do y'all sell them with?
Okay. I didn't even read. I just put it up on the screen. Me, first and foremost, King Carter, at this point in my career of doing dogs, I wipe my ass with that paperwork. That paperwork ain't shit. So for me, I don't care about the paperwork, me personally. I just care about making better dogs, making dogs that's going to be better than what I produced previously, be better than what the ancestors were. And so the paperwork, to me, to answer your question, don't mean shit. I shit on them paperwork. Paperwork is there just for me to know how I bred the dog for my own self. And I'll do the old school way, handwrite my shit. I don't give a. I'm not sending that money to them registries. Me personally, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna certify my own dogs eventually. Have my own certificates and paperwork on my own shit for me and my consumers. But other than that, I don't do it for the registry and the paperwork. So when it comes to selling dogs with hybrid vigor, my consumers is buying the dog, just like I did. Just like when I was buying a dog and I was believing in the paperwork. See, when I was buying my dogs back in the day, I was believing that the paperwork was what I was going to produce. But that was false. That was a falsity. That was fake. That was like K-Man was saying, that shit was fucking stacked and falsified. So I'm cooking off of paperwork and I'm not producing the dogs based off of that paperwork. So I said, fuck that paperwork. That paperwork don't mean shit.
Hey, Coach.
Go ahead.
But tell them why, though. Because it might be some people in here that might not understand exactly what you're saying, like why you wasn't producing. You know what I'm saying? What the paperwork said you should be producing.
I can only assume, and based off most of the shit on that paperwork, as far as the dogs that you believe that's there, phenotypically, genotypically is a lie. That's why. And they was bred using hybrid vigor. Them freaks that we loved on them paperworks was not heavily inbred and linebred the way they capped on them paperworks. That's why. So when you try to produce the same genetics that you see on the paperwork and your offspring and you're not seeing that, you wondering why.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why the fuck is my shit not looking like this, but they said it's heavy this? Or like we were talking about 10 times, 20 times that, and we're not seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reality of it is if it was 20 times that dog is already fucking destroyed. If it was 20 times a top tier dog that you see in that paperwork in the pedigree, that dog that you got is destroyed. That dog that you got is a piece of shit if you see it 20 times in the pedigree. Think about how they make them exotic dogs. Them exotics, if you follow them, how they breed, they heavy inbreed. That's how they get them retarded looking dogs.
But them little small Jones?
Nasty ass spacers and shit.
That's how you get them freaked out, retarded looking dogs, you heavy inbreed. That ain't a healthy dog. That's a freak. But a freak in a bad way. That's not a freak in a good way. They heavy inbreed to get them pieces of shits. And nothing against you who breed exotics, but it is what it is. Them dogs ain't worth a shit. Them dogs don't live long. Them dogs ain't worth a shit.
Goodbye.
I seen somebody selling one talking about the back legs need therapy or some shit.
See, they breed for that handicap shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They trying to get that best photo op.
The freakier the better when it comes to that exotics blood. That's how they operate. But they inbreed for that shit. You feel me? They do that. But for performance dogs, hybrid vigor is how you produce top tier performance dogs. Okay. Paperwork ain't how you produce top tier performance dogs. Hybrid vigor. You got to know the hybrid vigor formula.
Yeah, I agree with all that, but I will say paperwork can be useful to a breeder. And I don't know if his question was how could you possibly give paperwork or what, but paperwork is just telling you the lineage of a dog. What traits are there in your family tree. The dog doesn't have to be purebred to have paperwork. If you're breeding for a fawn colored dog or a dog with a certain size or a certain ability or whatever, and the paperwork says that this is the combination in this pup, and it's just as useful as any other paperwork.
If keyword though.
Right.
If it's legit. Right.
If. That's the key word. And like I said, if you're breeding based off of that paperwork and then you're not producing what's on that paperwork, then like I said, we got to go back to the old school way of doing it is breed what's in front of you. If that's in front of you is not producing what you expect, then you might have to add this, subtract that, do what that's, you might have to do it old school way until you can have your genetic paperwork that you trust 3 generations top and bottom that you know is legit. Now you can follow that. But if it's coming from somebody else, I ain't trusting that shit. At least me. I ain't trusting it because I already done that. I've been there, done that.
That's true.
That's all.
Yeah, but we're in a new age now. That's been done enough times that anybody who makes that mistake is not doing any kind of effort. And I mean, they got us every week preaching this shit. I mean, if you're not smart enough to go to the breeder's yard, you know, after all this time, I'm not talking about past mistakes. I'm talking about after all them past mistakes that everyone's made. If you're not smart enough to go to somebody's yard and figure out if they got generations of dogs that are doing what you want, you know, you're not going to be very successful in breeding anyway.
Correct.
I mean, you will if you stick with it. Like, you know, we're talking about stick with it for 20 years, make all these mistakes that everyone else made all by yourself. School of hard knocks, they call it.
And that's honestly the only way you learn, though, K-Man, is through the school of hard knocks, because it's very rare that you're going to, especially when money's involved, it's very rare you're going to find an honest dog, man. It's just when money's involved, it's like, we're going to sell you, you know what I mean? I'm weak and I'm a salesman. I'm going to sell you the hype. However, if you're a real breeder and I know you really with the, you know, like you really want to know the formula, I'm going to give you the recipe. I'm going to say, okay, well, okay, you talking my kind of talk. Okay, this is what you got to do. But if you calling me up like, Coach, I'm buying because of Red Tiger, I'm gonna pump you off of Red Tiger.
Right.
Now, if you say, hey, I want to produce a Red Tiger, then I'm gonna give you the truth. I'm like, well, it's gonna take a little bit more than you buying a Red Tiger pup to produce a Red Tiger. I'm gonna give you the truth. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, if you buy them, you'll produce them. I'm not gonna lie to you, but that's how the breeders do because they want the money.
Absolutely.
Oh, he's 30 times
all
Red
the problems.
For sure will produce a Red Tiger. Look how many times Red Tiger's in there, knowing that's Cap Red Tiger in there no 30 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just saying with the internet, as far as we've been through all that publicly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the
people
internet
can be called out
Hell,
instantly.
wow.
You can search somebody instantly. We shouldn't be making them mistakes anymore.
But we not making that mistake though, Caveman. Over here, we're not. See what King Carter was talking about, kind of like what he elaborated on in like I put up on the screen. There's a lot of people who pushing paperwork. Same thing when I was coming up, had my money right, buying dogs. I was believing in the paperwork too, based off of these breeders I was buying from, because I wanted to produce what they claimed was in the paperwork. So if I'm buying a dog from you, and let's say I'm getting heavy bone, I'm getting whatever, big head, certain rears, certain aesthetics that I want to add, and I'm asking you as a breeder, okay, can I get this and add this to my program? Yeah, man, because the daddy's that, the granddaddy's that, the great-great-granddaddy's that, the mama's that, look at this, look at that, right? So you're like, okay, cool. Then we go in, School of Hard Knocks is what we're talking about, Caveman. Then you go in and I go and cook, and I'm like, yo, why am I not getting that? Kind of like, for the example, when I took Goats genetics and I mixed them with Big Profits genetics, and added my pit bull spice to that, I got a whole variant, a whole rainbow. And honestly, only one dog came out genetically what I saw in the lab. Other than that, I was capped. And I paid top tier dollars for them damn dogs.
Yeah.
I paid top tier dollars for them dogs. But you know what? Hey, for them to show that big ass dog that came out, my boy Prophet, they're not going to tell me the truth about how he was bred.
Exactly.
But the paperwork, I'm supposed to be the lead of paperwork. Got bossy blood in it, all kind of shit, all kind of blood that you clap your heels to. But I already know they've been mixing. I already know Bossy and them be mixing all that shit. I already knew them paperwork was a phony baloney. But I had to experience it myself.
Yeah, the paperwork was to get you to spend the bag.
Facts.
Oh shit.
That fancy ass paperwork.
Y'all giving too much info, man. You know what I mean? They people gonna get sensitive, man.
No, I mean this is why we who we are. You know that shit. This is why we who we are. You know what I mean? This is why we top tier engineers.
But it's like real talk. It's like my man. King Carter said. He said, "Okay, bet." I asked because I know people feel like if you ain't got no paperwork, then they expect cheap prices because they won't be able to sell them for as much as they want to. And I think that's like 100% true, especially nowadays. Like if the first thing people say, you got papers? No, I ain't got no papers. They don't want the dog now. You know what I'm saying? Because for some reason in the dog community, the papers sell more than the dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like the dog can look good to a person and be like, yo, man, that's exactly what I want. That he got that work. That's what I want. But at the end of the day, you ain't got the paperwork on it. They gonna feel like, oh man, all right, well, how much you want for it? I want 35 for it. You want 35 for it? Oh, man.
But
I'll
see,
give you a house.
but K-Man, Duro K-Man's already said, like, we if you still that naive about some fucking phony ass paperwork, then you stupid as hell as a dog man. You shouldn't be buying no dog. If you buying a dog off of what the paper says, then you shouldn't buy no dog. That shit's been known as a hoax. Now, if you are blessed, and I'm telling you, few and far between, you're blessed with a reputable breeder that takes pride in this program. You follow him or her. You know that the genes, at least we always say 3 generations, man. Don't go further than that. Don't pull your hair out going past 3 generations. If you can at least credit 3 generations to that breeder and say, okay, he had the mom, the dad, the granddad, the great-granddad, great-grandmom, et cetera, and you can believe in that and you can verify that paperwork, then okay, so let's stamp it. We'll stamp that. That's cool. You got a paper dog. You can verify top and bottom 3. Great. However, if you don't have that, but that dog is showing you something that you really want, as a breeder, roll your dice. If that breeder says, hey, it's not no paper, but I need 3,000, and that dog is superior, them puppies are superior, the parents are superior, whatever. You might see some grandparents, hey, I don't got no paperwork, man, but you better buy that. You better buy that. You might be missing out on the best dog you ever owned.
True.
Yeah. But that's how like we look at it, but a lot of people don't look at it like that. That's all I was saying. A lot of people look at it like, you know what I'm saying? Because I see like on different dog communities, whether it's like Instagram or whether it's like Reddit, YouTube, whatever the case is, I see like depending on like the audience, if it's American bullies or if it's pit bulls type of thing, I think everybody just want that paperwork, man. Want that paperwork and see like, oh, I got this in the pedigree. And that's all everybody want to talk about is what's in the pedigree and not really what the dog is and what it can do. And you know what I'm saying, all that. So I think that's what I was getting from the dude that was up there.
King Carter.
Yeah, King Carter. Yeah.
Yeah, and I get that, and I understand that too. You know, exactly what you said, I definitely get. But like I said, we don't believe in the fluff, man. You know what I mean? Like that shit don't. You know, we want the meat and potatoes. We want the bone and the bone marrow. You know what I'm saying? Like we all that fluff and shit, that fat, you can keep that shit.
That's that Pokemon card shit.
Yeah, we don't want that shit, man. We really, you know, we understand it. That's why I said we understand it deeper than that. That's why we engineers when it comes to this type shit. You know what I mean? This is why the classroom is so important. This is why we talk the way we talk, because I don't want y'all who are new to this shit when it comes to dogs making the same mistakes that I made, buying dogs off of paperwork and believing these breeders that be capping and lying and shit just to make you pay the money. You know what I'm saying? And then you cooking with them and you're not getting what you cooking. That's when you learn the hard way. That's the school of hard knocks. If the paperwork is cooking what the paperwork is saying, then I gotta get, you know, okay, the paperwork is working. I'm not gonna wipe my ass with it. I'm gonna follow it then. You know what I'm saying? I got the math. Genetically, it's adding up. I'm producing it. I'm gonna use it. But 9 times out of 10, it's all fluff.
Yeah.
And if I got the recipe and I want to be the one with the bag and the money, I'm not gonna put the truth in there. Just think about all those people that bought them Juan Gotti dogs and all that shit, and they was wondering why they wasn't producing those type of dogs. You know what I mean? Cause you didn't know the fucking mixes that they was doing, nigga. They was throwing bulldogs, all kind of shit up in there. You just didn't know it.
Right.
You was just reading that paperwork and like wondering why you ain't producing the shit. How come I ain't got dogs like they got? Well, because you ain't mixing shit like they doing. Paper hanging, man. They ain't DNA testing, paper hanging.
Yeah, that's the other shit though that they don't. The other thing they don't do on the paperwork, they don't show you the breed. They just show you the picture of the dog and its name and shit.
Well, just think, the kennel club is all about the bag, man. They need that $30, whatever you send in for the puppy. They don't care. Fucking optional DNA tests.
Yeah.
DNA profile optional. Other than that, you don't have to. Give me that $30, please. We'll register them dogs. Thank you very much. I mean, me and you can start our own registry. You think we gonna turn down $30 and we getting that times 100 a month, or we getting that times 500 a month? You turning that shit down, man. Whatever y'all. I don't give a fuck.
Free.
So don't get caught up in the paperwork. Yes, it is a sales pitch. Yes, you can possibly sell your dogs for more. However, if somebody has a dog that is not papered that you want, that you see can add benefit to your program, and they're asking a substantial amount, buy it for the dog, not the paperwork.
I've seen it on the flip side too, where people had the paperwork and the price was low, like under $1,000 for the dog, like maybe 800 with paper. I seen that too. Where you,
yeah. When they get popular, that happens. A bunch of people buy them, thinking they're gonna get rich, and flood the market. Now a $1,500 Mastiff is $350.
Oh.
Which even at that, back when the Mastiffs come around here, they were $1,500, and that's probably cheap compared to how they came into the country. So those people are probably saying the same thing about us that we're getting, those Mastiffs. Like, oh yeah, look, these fuckers getting them for $1,500 now. It cost me $30,000 to get mine here.
Damn.
Yeah.
How much it cost?
That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
What you need is you need AKC and Disney to get together and make you a movie about your dogs, and you won't be able to breed them fast enough. I'm lucky. I exited the pet world. I don't breed dogs for looks. Of course, my dogs are all working dogs, so they all come with a certain look. But yeah, I breed working dogs, so I'm void of all that. Except my dogs ain't, worth as much. Let's say it's like a $6,000 bully or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see them bullies. I mean, that's
ain't shit either though.
Yeah, that's fabricated.
My dogs, people want to see them work. Like if I don't breed hounds right now, you know what I'm working on now. But like my hounds, you go to a houndsman, they're looking for a dog. They buy that dog underneath the tree, or off a kill or off a track or something. They want to see the dog tree a coon or chase a coyote or kill a coyote or whatever that dog's supposed to do.
Yeah.
They want to see it tree a lion or a bobcat or bear or whatever.
No, that's fair, man.
Yeah, they're buying the dog for what it do. They're not buying his papers.
Right. My man Chris said papers matter if you are into dog shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I totally agree. If you're in the shows and you want to go, you want to get in the ring and stuff like that, papers matter. But I mean, as far as like with in the ring, shit, it don't really matter like that. I don't think. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not breeding for show. show ring looking dogs. Shit.
And we're
So,
not breeding for no paperwork.
yeah, too.
That shit, like you said, like K-Man said, and how I was buying in some dogs when I first was believing in that paperwork. For breeders, that's a tool. If the map was true, then paperwork is as valuable as a dog. If the paperwork map, if that was a true DNA genetic map that we can follow as breeders, then it's worth it. The facts are and is that shit is not true. It's not.
Right.
Unless it comes from you or somebody that you trust that really put that formula down and like, look, I did it for me. These are my records. This is how I bred.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you want to breed better, there's a formula to how I bred. You don't want to breed the same type of dogs. You might want to breed the way I bred these dogs, but not based off of the family tree of dogs to breed the same. Because if you're trying to breed the same, then you're not going to get better. You're going to breed these dogs into destruction if you breed the same as the pedigree. However, if you follow the mathematical genetic formula and you follow these variances in this pattern, then you should be able to breed better.
Right.
That's not what they're telling you, though, because then if you surpass their formula, then guess what? You might be the one with the bag now.
Absolutely.
They don't want that.
They don't want that. Like you said, they don't want that now. Your mentor don't want you to pass them now.
Not at all. That's when they become haters.
That's when they become haters. Like I said, I saw that when I bought it. I told y'all, like, low key, I saw that with Lion's Lair. I mean, he wasn't hating directly, but I kind of like seen how he wasn't giving, wasn't really giving me my props for promoting my boy AK, and I bought the dog from him.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, all his partners was talking about AK.
Mm-hmm.
But he saw, okay, well, if I give coaches props, then shit. I mean, all my partners already know who Coach is. They might want to buy the dogs from Coach.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it. I understood it because I understand business. I get it. But I saw how he wasn't trying to, help promote me, which he didn't have to because I was doing it myself. But he didn't want to help boost me. Like, yeah, you see that dog AK? Oh shit. Because his boys is already telling him that shit. All his customers already saying, yo, that boy out there, the boy AK out there in the US, damn it.
Because they ain't got that. No.
Correct.
Because I think you the only one in the US with that blood, right?
Hell yeah.
And I'm the only one in the US, but there's nobody else with ain't nobody in the UK with AK.
Yeah, he the only one.
No, but what I was saying was that's why he got, what I'm saying, he was acting like that too, because you had that blood in the US, nobody else got it. So he thinking to himself like, damn, he out there, he about to run that shit up in the US with that. You know what I'm saying? So the US customers ain't really gonna be trying to contact me no more. They gonna go to Coach.
Well, see, yes and no. You're right, Duro. I thought about that, but see, his pride and joy was fucking Gunner. You see what I'm saying? So what he gonna do and what he did was like, look, I got Gunner. I'm gonna make another AK, but that's called hybrid vigor. You feel me? You don't create duplicates with hybrid vigor. You don't create twins with hybrid vigor. So that shit, maybe he didn't know that, or maybe he did, but I know that. So in reality, you can say, yeah, who's AK's dad? Who's everybody going heads over heels over is AK's dad? Hey, I could produce another AK. So that was his sales pitch as always his sales pitch. But at the same time, AK and his daddy, even though they're similar, they're not the same.
Yeah.
Right? So he knew that part. That's why I felt like he was smart to know, like, okay, yes, his daddy is who he is and very popular, and everybody want, a gunner. But at the same time, AK is his own, and he's different than his daddy. And it's like, okay, you can't get an AK from Gunner because without Spade and hybrid vigor, there will be no AK. So he can't reproduce them. That's what I felt that he knew. So he didn't want that, you know, even though I'm in the US, he didn't really want his people to be like, okay, damn it, AK over there looking like a goddamn a large pit bull and shit. Gunner don't look like that.
Gunner look like a bully.
Right, he looked like a Camelot dog, but just more ripped up, and you know what I'm saying. He looked like I said, one of them Camelot dogs, some red Camelot dogs, but more ripped up and shit.
Mad rip, yeah. With that crazy ass face shit.
AK look like a fucking large buckskin game pit bull. So that right there is a whole different wave that he didn't have. So that I think that's why he kind of played it like that. You know, the US was into Gunner. That's how I got it. But I think honestly, Duro, I think he just didn't want me to fucking get AK overseas and shit. Because he told me he was going to use AK. He told me he was going to use him, but he never did it.
Yeah,
he told me that shit. He told me off the top, like, yo, I'm gonna use your boy AK, but he never did it. So, you know, that's that. Plus that whole ban over there in the UK happened. So I think they're out now.
Yeah, that's over.
Yeah, they done over there.
It look like all the dangerous dogs is done over there, though.
They did the Connie Corso, all them shits too over there too.
Yep.
Damn.
The Corso. That was the last video I saw. The Corso.
Damn.
Because they was probably using that, mixing that in with the bully to make that crazy XL.
Yeah. They was definitely throwing all them different masters in there too. So yeah, they probably was throwing that in there. Yep. So hey, with that paperwork, y'all, don't get caught up in that. You know, if you find a dog that you like and you talk, just like I said, talk to the breeder.
Facts.
Just talk to them and talk like you know what you're talking about, and then based off of what you're talking about, see if the answers you get make sense. If the answers you get don't make no sense, don't buy no dog from that individual because they don't know what the fuck they got.
Right.
Yeah, I got something to add to that paperwork thing that a lot of people get mixed up on, and kind of what you touched on is the main reason people are hung up on the paperwork is the status of having a Red Boy Jocko dog or something like that.
Oh shit.
You don't tell me you've had a Boudreaux dog or what's the older one than that even? Anyway, don't tell me you got one of those dogs of this bloodline of this breeder that's been dead for 30 years. Because I don't care if you start out with my genetics, which you didn't, you got it 12 breedings down the line or 50 breedings down the line, unless you got dogs directly from me and bred those dogs under my direction every step of the way, those are not my dogs.
Facts.
Right. Facts.
Preach.
We said that 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I told you guys about the Blue Gotti dog, the stud dog, right? That I was talking to somebody with.
Yeah.
I was looking for a stud for my pit. All right, I got a pit Corso female. You know, and I'm looking to the future for like a bully type or something. And it come up anyway in conversation. So I was talking to somebody about this stud. And well, what is it? Oh, it's a Blue Gotti. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I know that those dogs, which those dogs aren't in pure form anymore either, I don't believe, unless that kennel's still in operation. But anyway, same story. But anyhow, eventually I get a picture of this dog. It's probably 45-pound red-nosed terrier. Well, I mean, anybody that knows Blue Gotti knows that Blue Gotti is a big blue mastiff type dog.
It's like
Or at least they were back in the day
pounds.
when they created them. Yeah, I was there when they were, when they made that line and was pushing up, basically. They were almost like a King Corso mix. In fact, that might even be what they are.
It's the XL.
Yeah, they were big, square-headed. They had jowls. That's another thing. These pit bulls with cropped ears, it's because they're not pit bulls. Because the original pit bull terrier has the rose, whatever you call it, the rose set ears. You know what I'm talking about? They're small. They're set in the certain spot of the head. They're small at the base, and they like fold up and lay back. They're not a triangle that flops over like a mastiff.
Right.
Now, all these dogs with those big triangle ears are not pit bulls. They're not pit bull terriers. They are a pit bull because they were bred for the pit, but they're not a pit bull terrier that people think of when they say that word pit bull. The pit bull is just a slang term for a group of bunch of mutts, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got pit bull Dobermans called pit bulls bred in a line. You got pit bull Bordeaux, pit bull Neapolitans, pit bull hounds, pit bull, all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
To make their own distinct line. Great Dane, even. Yeah, that's where them black dogs come from. A lot of them.
But you know what? They'll say, why would you add that into a pit bull if those dogs are inferior to the pit bull? Like, they'll say stuff like that.
Yeah,
but then at the same time, it's like, okay, well, you don't know why they add those dogs because they're adding features. It's like why you add an intake to your car that's stock, or why you add a full header and a full exhaust to your shit that come from the, you know what I mean? Like, that's why you do the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see what's under the hood, but until I fucking press that gas and whoop your ass, then you wonder why. Same thing with these dogs.
Nah, that pit Doberman is fire. That joint could run mad fast. It could do mad shit. It could work. That shit could jump like a kangaroo. It's basically a more athletic pit bull. A little taller. Yeah.
Hey, just think about back in the day
Panther.
when they had those German Shepherds in the hood and them pit bulls. They had them bull herders a long time ago, back in the 80s, nigga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
they sure did. There's one in the Game Dog Hall of Fame. I think I don't know if it was maybe it was Duro Show. I was talking about that dog. Go look up the old time pit bulls and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You'll look at the dog and go, that's a fucking Dutch Shepherd mix or a whatever it is. Yeah, this dog is black. It's got upright ears. It's got, I mean, you can tell. You can look at this dog and go, oh, that's a pit bull German Shepherd mix. Straight up. Well, he's a grand champion. Now, his pups obviously didn't go too far because there's not a bunch of them that look like that. But that cross, that dog, he matched the weight, and somebody probably laughing their ass off at this fucking bull herder coming in and to show him what a game dog is. It didn't work out that way. And that shit happened a lot,
Yeah. Why not?
There's a game dog guys that would their pride would be hurt if they knew that they had Redbone Coonhound in their game dogs that they thought were straight out of Ireland.
But it's like, why? Like that's why I say it's like there's that, and that's why I say a lot of people are just enthusiasts of dogs. They're not real dogs.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, because our whole world, everything that's been presented to us since birth is a corrupt plan. There's motherfuckers running the scenes that do all this shit to get everybody going in the wrong direction. All slaves to them making all the profit. No matter what you do, you look at any aspect of your life, it's corrupt and backwards.
Facts. I agree with you.
That's super fat.
But the dog world's no different. The dog world is created to enslave you and take your money and get the AKC, the ASPCA, and the American Veterinary Association rich. Which, of course, is, I guarantee you, if you look it up, it's all owned by politicians. Same with the money. If you hear anything about them sending millions of dollars to Ukraine for condoms or for gender studies, well, they own that shit where that money's going. They're not giving that shit to other countries. They own that fake ass business over there.
Yep.
Yep. It's a front.
Yep. That's exactly what's going on.
Everything about the world around you is a front.
Yeah.
To mind fuck you and make you a slave to them.
Make you a slave. I've said that too, and I know it's kind of off topic, but I've said that too. Like, we in the United States, we think we free, but we not. We slaves.
Yeah, we not free.
Absolutely, we were never free of Britain.
We're working, right? And they pay us with money that ain't worth nothing.
Correct.
So if you think about it, you're getting paid with fiat that's not worth a goddamn thing that they can print up and make you work for it. So it's like, okay, well, fuck it. We're gonna create this fiat. Y'all gotta work and pay us back with the fiat. But at the end of the day, we don't give a fuck about the fiat. We just want your labor, whatever it might be. So in reality, we working for the master, which is the powers that be. And like, I mean, it's all fake. It's like, it's backwards. It's backwards shit. Just do something wrong and watch what happens to your freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Go against the system and watch what happens to you when you go against the system.
See how they got your man Kanye out here bugging.
I mean, Kanye
been bugging, bro.
He crashing out. You know what I'm saying?
He been crashing out. Yeah.
He already know he done data. That's why he crashing out. He already know he done data. But that's the reality that we live in. You see what I'm saying? Same thing with the dogs, like we talked about. You know what I mean? So we just got to be aware of what we're dealing with when it comes to these dogs. We got to do this shit for the dogs. Take our pride out of it. Okay. Yes, we should be, prideful when we produce top tier dogs, but that should be the only reason why you got a pride when you're producing next level dogs. I'll pat you on the back and salute you when you do that. But all that other shit, you know what I mean? Man, leave that out of what we trying to do. You know what I mean? And let's teach the next ones who's coming in that, hey, be an innovator. Yes, you can take different family of dogs and make better dogs. Yes, you can add a different breed in there if you want to and make top tier dogs. Yes. Yes, all that plays. Yes, you do not have to lie about your pedigree. You can just do what it is. If the dog is superior, it is what it is. Yes, if you have paperwork and it's legit, yes, it's worth something if it's legit. However, even if it's legit, the dog is still worth more than that paperwork.
Right.
So if it didn't come with the papers, you really want the dog, and that breeder tells you $20,000, and you really wanted the dog, pay it. Because if they give you a $20,000 paperwork and a fucking $5,000 dog, then you're the dummy.
Yeah,
into those
kind of moved past it, but
go ahead.
Something I wanted to say about something you said. They got this power by teaming up, not by selling each other out and going off on their own.
I agree. It's a like we said, it's a Ponzi scheme and a pyramid. That's the only way they can sell it. Whatever they selling, whatever it is, whether it be dogs, whether it be whatever, an agenda, they have to have a group because people are sheep. So when they see the masses going along with it, then they fall in line. They don't, you know, people don't decide to use their own brain until they're forced to. Until you are out there like, hey, they're selling this. Let me try what they're selling and it don't work. That's when you like wake up. Like, hey, I'm doing everything that everybody says to do, but it's not working for me. Why? Then you find out why. It's like, oh shit, they've been lying to me the whole time.
Gotcha.
I'm not a part of the clique. I'm not a part of the movement. Of course, they're not going to tell me the truth. I'm not a part of it. They don't. They want to keep it all to themselves because that's where the power lies.
Power lies.
And that's why we can't fall in line with that shit. And, you know, and that's why with the topic tonight, you know what I mean? Do y'all crosses, man. Do your crosses. Inbreed if necessary. Line breed if necessary. However, you know, it's better to find you a cross that has similar genetic characteristics of your dog so that you can get vigor and still maintain what you already have on your line. Because you're guaranteed to produce better dogs. And like I said, for my own experiences in my lab, I love all the variances that I get from my dogs. You know, like I like the fact that I got different variations of the genetics.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. Like, yo, this dog is dope and it's his own dog. That dog is dope because, you know, like I like seeing that shit. Like I don't want them all looking the same.
You could always make new joints out of them.
Yeah. Like K-Man said, every puppy is his own variant of the genetics.
Yep.
Oh, Chris said something. Hey, Chris said something that's powerful right here. He said, in today's market, health guarantees are more important than the paperwork and the dog. People will tell you, hey, did you get his fucking hips and this and this? They'll buy the dog more over the fucking hip test than the actual dog itself.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That's some new shit that these motherfuckers is on. I'm like, what? This dog is the dopest dog you ever seen, but you need his hip checked and all that shit before you buy it. Nick, what? Then you don't need a dog from me then.
That sounds like fake shit to me.
But that's what these cats is on. That's what they on right now.
They never want to buy your shit, so they're just gonna keep trying to eliminate you from getting sales.
But see, they're not going back to the essence of breeding dogs. If you have a dog that is, let's say you got a dog with shitty bone or whatever, right? But it's got everything else. So let's say it's cow hawked, or let's say it's got some, you know, a little bit of dysplasia. It's there, but it's everything else is top tier. And even though it had a dysplasia, that shit still was a top tier working dog.
Yeah.
You telling me I ain't breeding it because it got some dysplasia or it's got some, you know, I'm breeding that shit.
Oh,
It'll
yeah.
make it better. Because that's what I do.
Yeah.
That's what I do. That's my gift. I'm going to take what is good and hopefully, God willing, create the bad. And correct the bad. And it might take me 2 or 3 generations to do it. But I'm not throwing that fucking top tier dog minus his claws out the window. Ain't no dog perfect.
Exactly.
But the health test tells me the hips ain't that good. The hip scores are trash, or the hip scores aren't as good as what I want. So I'm not going to breed it. But everything else is top tier. How stupid is you?
See, I kind of disagree because I'm all about health, with my shit. So I want my shit to be healthy. I don't want no bad genes and none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, you wouldn't breed your healthy dog to that dog, but if that's the dog you had, you could breed that to a healthy dog and select out of that. And that's the part about working dogs. Eventually that line is going to deselect all the faults, all the genetic faults in that line.
But that's down the line though. That's not like the first breeding.
Yeah.
So
right, but what I'm saying is if you bought a female and she carried bad hips, you're going to want to breed her You know what I mean? So you find a male that's clear. You know what I mean? And then that recessive trait is gone. It's still carried, but you're breeding towards a healthy dog. Now, you wouldn't take a healthy dog, or most people wouldn't take a healthy dog and breed it to a dog with an ailment. But like he's saying, if you had a female you was using on your farm and she worked out, she was perfect. I mean, this dog had the temperament like 1 in a million and everything about her, but she was inbred to the point or whatever where she had bad hips, bred for size, or she had bad hips. You're going to want to breed that dog to a clean male and clean your lineup out of that dog.
Mhm.
Right.
Or it can be done anyway. It depends. I mean, yeah, if you want to scrap that dog and buy another one, that's fine. If it can be done, if you can replace that, all them traits, all them good traits with a dog, you know, that easily, that has no ailments, and yeah, but
And
that's hard to
also,
do unless you're doing what we're doing and creating your own breed. That's hard to. And that's another thing. You can do that. You can pick a dog like, man, I want the traits of that English Mastiff, but it's got hip dysplasia. Just breed it to a dog that doesn't carry the hip dysplasia gene.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then start with clean pups.
and another thing, Duro, too, it's like, yeah, we want health, and I agree with you on that. Health is yes. But like I said, there's no such thing as a perfect anything. We already know the only man or only creation of God that was perfect was Jesus Christ. So other than that, we as breeders, we understand that we're going to get pluses and minuses to everything that we have in our equation. It's mathematics. So yes, we want healthy dogs, but we got to look at the bigger picture. If that dog had a couple things that we didn't like, but the things that we did like superseded those things that we don't like, we're going to keep that in our breeding program because our job is to make it better. Yes, it might take 2-3 generations. We might get lucky and be able to find one that it does off of one generation, but that's who we are. That's what we do. We correct things, we fix things. We don't come in automatically and say this dog is 100% or this dog is 95%. So let me find me another dog with 95%. Then what's the whole, like, what are we here for? We're here to make them better.
Right.
So what you saying makes a lot of sense, but for us, that eliminates our gene pool because, again, even though that dog might have had bad hips or whatever it might be that we don't like, we take away from our creative ability to say, okay, well, I can take a dog that has better those things that we lack and pray to God that the genetic vigor produces better. Me select the dogs that are better. We do the tests because you are in the health test, and we say, damn it, man, good thing I didn't throw that dog in the trash because these puppies don't have that.
Right.
So that's all what I'm saying. And as a breeder, we can't just do that unless your dog is just, like you said, genetically a piece of shit. Yeah, we ain't breeding no piece of shit. But if there's a couple things that I don't like, but everything else I do like, I'm still rolling the dice with it because I can't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
So,
That's another thing I don't deal with in working dogs is any of those problems because they've been deselected 100 years ago.
Well, nature does that
Kick
too.
any.
With itself.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. I mean, if you're going coon hunting, if you got a dog with hip dysplasia, it don't keep up, especially for days. So it doesn't get kept. Surely doesn't get bred. Yeah, it's too easy to replace a hound with another hound. And if you have to, another, go through 10 of them until you get a good one.
yeah,
That's
but
the big difference between show dogs and working dogs. It's a whole different world, even within the same, like the Great Dane. I keep hearing about Great Dane this, Great Dane that. Most people have never seen a real Great Dane. They think they get this image of that big sloppy Merle Great Dane from the AKC. However they promoted it. And they don't never seen a real Great Dane, that can fight a leopard or a hog. If you listen to like Dale Lee and Shit. No, the Lee brothers and that other old man, the houndsman from out west, they'll tell you the Great Dane is the only breed of dog that could kill a leopard. All their hounds and their cur dogs were getting killed by the leopard. You tell that to anybody, you know what I mean? They'll laugh at you.
Right.
Like, Great Dane, yeah.
I think
But that's the difference between a working dog and a dog bred for looks, or, you know, bred for size. Like the Great Dane doesn't get used anymore. It got turned into how big can we make it?
I think the
Well,
point
yeah,
that
of course they're a piece of shit when you just seen how tall you can breed them. You selected for nothing but how tall the dog measures at the shoulders. Well, what the fuck do you think you're going to get?
Go ahead, Duro.
okay. I think the point that I was making was I wanted to ask you. So, like when you was talking about you're not gonna scrap the shit. So I'm asking you. So when you breed those, if you breed dogs with bad hips, are you keeping those puppies or those puppies for sale?
Well,
I'm not doing that at all. Oh, you're
I was
talking coach.
asking coach.
I'm going to first and foremost, I'm going to test them all because I've had dogs with bad hips that didn't produce puppies with bad hips.
Mm-hmm.
So that bad hip could be not necessarily genetic inherited, but it could have been because of maybe a situation where the dog injured his hip.
Absolutely.
So now genetically, right, I
Mm-hmm.
can have a puppy that might have that bad hip so-called gene, but runs perfectly fine. But that embark says this dog is prone to have bad hips, or that x-ray says that this dog has bad hips, but he's never shown me that he has bad hips.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these are the things that we got to understand, because before we had these options now that we have during these genetic testings and stuff like that, which do play, we still have to, like I said, as dogmen who create dogs, we still got to experiment to find out for ourselves. We still got to go through the school of hard knocks, because you might throw a dog away based off of some paperwork you get from a vet, but genetically them dogs ain't producing that, or that dog is showing that in his x-rays, but performance wise you couldn't tell.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. You know, if the dog is showing me it's a paraplegic damn near, I'm not gonna breed it because it's not showing me nothing else. That motherfucker can't even walk. I'm not breeding that shit. But if he got a little slight little limp and gimp, you know, a little slight, but that motherfucker still running and keeping up with the pack, I'm fucking with him. Me, I'm fucking with him, because there's something else to him that he's gonna give me, and I'm gonna say, okay, I think his joints ain't all that good. I need to breed some dogs with some better joints. That's what I'm thinking about. Everything else on them is top tier.
The only thing that I'm thinking about is, from what I know, is that sometimes you can have a puppy, say you bred, say just hypothetically speaking, say you bred I don't fucking know, say you bred AK, and AK had an issue, but you had the puppies checked and it showed you that it was nothing, right? But as soon as that puppy turns 1-2 years old, then you start to see some of the traits that AK had. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, like, certain shit, like, it doesn't show right away, like what an issue might be. So you might think, oh man, they cool. You know what I'm saying? But then they might not be cool. You see what I'm saying? So what I was saying was, like, for me, like, if I know something is non-breedable, I'm not gonna fuck with it. I'm gonna just scrap that dog and take a loss, because that's a part of the dog game. I'm not gonna make a potential worse dog when I'm trying to make better dogs. We already got a ton of terrible dogs in the shelter already. You know what I'm saying? So if I put that on the street, you know what I'm saying, that's where my productions end up at. And what am I really doing as a dog man at that point? You know what I'm saying? That's just where I'm coming from.
I understand.
Mhm.
I understand completely, and that's why I say I understand exactly. And and of course, as a breeder, that's your options. You know, I mean, you have an option to say, okay, I'm gonna start from scratch and give me something that don't have it, versus, you know, like I said, someone like myself, everything plays good, bad, and indifferent. I know
Right.
that I'm not gonna have a perfect dog to breed.
Right.
Okay, I would have threw Red Tiger in the trash because that motherfucker can't breathe. Now, somebody be like, hey, I'm not going to breed that dog, coach, because he can't breathe. And I don't want to pass it on because there's a potential that the puppies can have that. I understand that. However, they don't think like me. I'm an engineer. I fix shit. I make shit. It might take me 2 or 3 generations. I might get it off the first one. You know what I mean? But I'm already thinking ahead. Okay, I need to fix that. I need to bring me a polar opposite of what I'm lacking. I need to have exceptional breeding, still matching the genotype, still matching, you know, I need to have that so I can have a 50% chance of correcting it. I'm
Mhm.
not gonna throw them out. That's how I think. I'm not throwing the shit out. I need, because it's so hard to get the other attributes. If I got everything else, but I'm lacking breathing, I'm not throwing that shit out. Fuck that.
Right.
I ain't doing it because everything else I'm throwing in the trash too. I'll deal with the breathing. It might take me 2, 3, 5, 6 generations, but I didn't lose everything else that I wanted.
Right.
Yep,
And
I
that's
agree with you both, and it
Be
takes you
fake.
2 generations to clean them up
Yep.
the patience that we
into
gotta
a
have.
clean dog.
That's the patience that we gotta have when you breeding dogs. You gotta have patience. It's not gonna happen overnight. I might not correct Red Tiger's breathing in the first 3 breedings that I do with his blood. I might not do it. But if I'm in it and I'm committed, I'm not gonna throw his genes out because everything that I do like about a Red Tiger, I'll have to get somewhere else. That's gonna take me even longer. Versus like, okay, I got Red Tiger, I got his foundation, I bred him, his breeding only improved by 25%. Okay, I outcross him again, but I'm losing type. But I got his breeding better. But then I outcross him again, I lose type. I got his breeding about 85%. But guess what I got? But I don't got that no more. But let's say, guess what I got? I got a straw. I throw that when I get it at 85%, I throw Red Tiger back up in there. Now those puppies more breed type. And let's say if they was, you know, 50% corrected, now they're about 75%.
Mm.
And they still looking like Red Tigers. So
Right.
did I win? Yeah, I won. Yeah, they're not 100%, but they're 75% versus where they used to be when it was just Red Tiger. So that's how we got to see it. And it's still a song and a dance. Duro, it's still a song and a dance. We still got to make it harmonize. You know, it's not going to be perfect. Yeah, I might not make it. I might not do it. I might have to scrap the whole program. It was a waste of your time, coach. But I can't throw the baby out with the bathwater if I'm trying to achieve a goal as making a better Red Tiger. I can't throw Red Tiger out if I'm trying to make a better Red Tiger. If that makes sense.
True.
Because I might not be able to get everything else that Red Tiger get from anybody else. There might not be nobody else that I can find a dog that is like Red Tiger, but it can breathe. I have to make it.
Yeah.
And that's the song and the dance that I'm talking about. You know, when we're breeding dogs and we're making dogs, we got to understand that in our lab, nothing is perfect. Nothing. And we as mankind are not perfect. Our ancestors had diseases and all kind of shit and, you know, passes on and all that shit. But, you know, hey, our grandfather might have lived at 65 and he had a cancer gene. And you know what? Shit, we had the same gene and we lived to 95.
Right.
But maybe we took care of ourselves, right? Duro, maybe we ate better than grandpa did. You know what I mean? You know, maybe our environment was more conducive to our lifestyle to be able to live healthy, even though we had that cancer gene. Maybe we did die of cancer, but we died of cancer at 95 versus 65. So it's a song and a dance. That's all I'm saying. And what you're saying is correct, and what I'm saying is correct. But it's to each their own and how they want to cook. And I just, like I said, I just know how hard it is to get genetic characteristics in dogs and to keep them. And I'd rather correct them. I'd rather keep and correct versus throw it out and start from scratch.
Gotcha. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. It's just hard. It's just when you're doing this shit, it's hard.
Same time. Shit.
It's hard, man. But yeah, man. Yeah, we don't beat this topic up.
But what about what's the chances of still having two healthy dogs doing the breeding and then the litter come out shitty?
I mean,
like
recessive genes can always come back.
Yeah, if both parents were carriers. At the same time, when you're talking about recessive genes, all you got to do is breed to a dog that doesn't carry that gene. It carries a dominant gene. It'll cancel out the expression of the recessive gene in the puppies, but they'll all carry it. Okay, you breed those puppies that are all carriers to another dog that doesn't carry that recessive gene. Now half of your puppies don't have it at all.
Not all the time, though.
Yeah, absolutely. It's genetic recombination. You draw the Punnett square and go recessive dominant. Go do R and D, and then do D and D because the other dog has two dominants. You know what I mean? And you'll get across the top, you'll get two clean dogs, and then on the bottom you'll get two carriers. It goes back to the 25, 50, 25. 25 clean, 25 affected, and 50 carriers. You just have to select the non-carriers in the second breeding. That's what I said. You can ruin a breeding that way. Or let's say you're trying to breed for a color, and you breed to a black dog. Well, you can throw your fucking color right out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try cleaning that up. Which you can do it because it's just the color. You can do it by eye, but
it's a lot.
Yeah, that dominant shit. Yeah.
I mean,
on that you got to know all your alleles, but
and it goes back to the old school trial and error. You.
Yeah, in the end, that's the only way is the trial is to test your dogs. But I mean, I'm in a different world. I'm in the working dog world. I don't breed dogs for looks. So I have to test my dogs. It's that simple. I don't have to wonder. I mean, if the dog's not fit, it's going to fail.
Right.
So it's not lingering in the back. But the thing is I'm selecting dogs that have been pre-selected before I even got them. I can't afford to feed a dog that ain't already top tier when I get it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, you got some of these dogs, right, that might have these type of ailments, but you wouldn't tell. Think about fighters, right? Think about athletes and shit that play through injury, and you wouldn't even tell they had an injury, but they had an injury the whole time.
Yeah.
Am I not going to breed that? You know what I mean? Like, hell yeah, I'm breeding that motherfucker. You got
alien shit right there.
I'm fucking with you because everything else that's in you, I need that.
Yeah.
You worked through all that. You hid that injury that you had. let's say we do an ecropsy on one of our dogs that passed away. It was one of our top tier dogs, and we do an ecropsy, and we see all these things that was wrong with it, but that dog lived till whatever, 13 years old, and was a top tier performer out of all of our dogs. And we come to find out he had this wrong and that wrong. Well, what the fuck? Well, I mean, shit. Thank God I bred you.
Facts.
But you had all this and all that wrong, and then the vet told me, yeah, he was born with that shit. What? He was born with that shit? I couldn't tell. That's why we gotta be willing to experiment in the lab, man. This is where our gift is. Let's find out. Let's see if it's wrong. It's wrong. We'll find out what is wrong. Why was it wrong? Because I bred it and tried to fix it and couldn't fix it. Okay, well, it's wrong. It's wrong. Or I bred it, kind of fixed it, got it better, didn't get it 100% better, but got it better. Okay, well, shit, do we carry it on? Maybe. Oh, I got an idea. Let me try that. Okay, cool. Try that. Oh, shit, we made it, add another 25% better to it. Like, that's how we have to think. If you want to keep raising the bar, making dogs better, get your dogs to live longer, run faster, be stronger, breathe better, have better hips. Whatever it might be, we got to breathe for that. If that's who you are, that's what we do. To me, I think as a breeder, it wouldn't be no fun to me if every dog came perfect. It would be why would I need to be there? Why you need me to breed dogs if every dog I get is perfect? That's just every dog is healthy, every dog is strong, every dog is fast, every dog is whatever, muscular. Why do I need to breed? The dog is already perfect.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, the dog is already at a high level. Why? What do I need to come in there? No, these dogs need my assistant as far as vision to make them better. That's why I like to breed. So many factors, so many equations, just like Tony said. You know what I mean? And everything plays. Y'all heard Coach say this to you all the time. Everything plays. So what you saying, Duro, is playing. What Caveman is saying is playing. What y'all saying in the chat is playing. Okay? Everything plays. However, we supposed to get that shit to the happy medium. That's what we supposed to do. We don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's all I'm telling you. We find the happy medium and make it work. That's why we fucking top tier engineers. Because that's what we do. Everybody else say, oh, that shit ain't gonna work. Oh, you can't do that. We do that. Oh, you would never make a dog like that. Oh, that dog is a piece of shit. Well, that dog ain't a piece of shit no more.
Not no more. Shit.
Oh, you can never make a fucking extreme dog like Red Tiger breathe and perform like a pit bull. Well, guess what? I just did.
And it's better. Oh, man.
So that's all it is. You know what I mean? That's all it is, y'all. You know what I mean? So let's be optimistic. Let's do our health testing if that's what you want to do. Okay. Let's understand that if the dog is lacking, let's bring something to the table to add and correct it. Let's make sure we think like that as dogmen. If the paperwork is true, follow the map. See if it works for you. If it works for you based off of that paperwork map, then don't wipe your ass with the paperwork. Okay. Use it as a tool. Other than that, one more thing. If you ain't got your money right and you trying to buy a dog, do not call a breeder like myself. Okay. Make sure when you hit up the coach or other breeders that you respect and you really want dogs, just save your money. Right? Save your bread.
All right.
Come to the person you want to buy a dog from. Tell them off the top, hey man, I'm here to buy. How much you asking? If it's in your price range, pay the shit. Don't bargain price it because you sound stupid. If you got a couple of dollars and you're like, well, shit, he wants 4, but you got 3. Ask him for it. He might give it to you for 3,200. He might even give it to you for the 3-piece, but don't come with no bread when you're talking to real breeders who got top tier shit. Don't do it. Because they won't respect you when you got your money right the next time. You'll miss out.
Right.
But other than that, anybody else want to add before we close out? Yeah, I think we beat it up, man. I think we beat
my
it up.
throat's dry already.
Yeah. We beat it up, man. So salute to the chat, all you guys in the chat, man. I appreciate everybody participating and coming into the classroom, paying attention, taking notes. You know what I mean? Man, learn from what we're talking about, man. This is where all the engineers come, man. All the dogman engineers that create top tier performance dogs. This is where we come on Thursday night, talk this shit. You know, utilize what we talk about, try it, experiment in the lab. Don't let nobody tell you shit other than what's working. And then try it yourself. Test it. Test the theory yourself. Find out yourself. Ask questions. Okay? And then we keep raising the bar all together. You feel me? So salute to you guys in the chat. Much love and respect, man. And hey, much love and respect to the panel, man. Everybody, all y'all, man. Duro, Young Ready, Caveman, Korea. Love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Love y'all feedback, everything y'all bring to the channel. Excuse me, not the channel, but the panel and the chat, man. Appreciate everything y'all do.
Same way.
Yeah, same here. Oh yeah.
So let's keep doing what we're doing, and until next time, we are out.